Hello, everybody. Welcome in. I just have to sleep. But I was like, it's the end of a song. It's a good transition point. So, yeah. But, so, story time. Yeah. So, actually, technically, a couple of stories, right? So, you know how I wasn't feeling so great last week on Tuesday, and I was like, it's okay, but I have had like 2 flares in the last 2 or 3 days. And then, so basically what happened was on Wednesday, I woke up and I was like, oh, I feel like death. And so I just took all of Wednesday to rest. And then on Thursday, I woke up and I was like, maybe I'll feel better today. And within like 30 minutes, there was a point where I was like, I'm gonna make a decision later in the morning. And I had some food and I had some caffeine. And then there was a point where I just looked at my computer screen and my brain went, no. And so I was like, okay, all right, well, I guess we're not streaming. So I'm sorry I had to cancel, but last week was nonsense. And then Friday, I felt even worse again. So I spent all day Friday just resting and recovering. And then the entire weekend has also been resting and recovering. So, and then yesterday I was like, hey, I'm starting to feel better again. And then yesterday evening I was like, never mind. So that's where we're at. I'm doing okay at this moment right now, which is good. So, we'll see how long it lasts. But yeah, so that's story time number 1. Story time number 2, that has just given me a bit of a heart attack. You know how we've been... Well, the whole plan for today is to go and get a tropical fish security detail for the lovely shrine here, which I haven't actually built more of, so let's just go. For those who weren't here last Tuesday, we built a shrine to Cake. So the Cake is it's celebrating becoming a Twitch affiliate, Cake, and I don't know, I decided to make a shrine because why not? And oh no, the coppers. I need to. Okay, this is supposed to not be oxidized copper. So I need to wax it, but I need to get access to wax. So I think I need to put an order in with somebody else on the server. But this is our shrine to Cake. I enjoy it quite a bit, but also there's going to be like an entry here where you have to walk on the pressure plate. And again, for those who weren't here last week, oh, I got Cake. Okay, well, the universe loves me at the moment. If you step on the pressure plate, you have roughly 50-50. You have a slightly higher chance of getting a rocket to the face, or getting a cake. Basically, it's cake roulette. So that's what that is. And we decided last time that we need a fish security detail in order to guard the cake. Cause I don't know, cause we wanted one. So we're gonna go to a coral reef and we're gonna get some coral and we're gonna get some tropical fish and we're gonna put them all down here, and maybe also some pufferfish because pufferfish can actually like do something. Cake or death, exactly, or at least minor singeing. Yes. We're gonna get some pufferfish, we're gonna get some coral, and we're gonna get some tropical fish. Now, here is the thing. I have been spending a lot of time, because I've been resting, basically, I've been doing some of the more mindless tasks in Minecraft. Hang on, let me just make sure I have... let me make sure I have everything we probably need. That's probably enough buckets. It's probably fine. So... I've been doing a lot of work on the tunnels in the nether, so we've been putting together a nether tunnel system so that it's relatively safe, and it's slabbed, and there are no mobs and such. So this is where my portal is. I haven't slabbed my hallway yet, but we're working on it. It takes a lot of resources to slab this whole thing. I've used like 2 entire full chests worth of cobblestone. And I'm nowhere near done. So it's a lot. So if anybody who's in chat and is on the server wants to donate cobblestone to the effort to make these tunnels completely safe, that would be helpful. But anyway, so I made paths out to the coral reef, and I made one out to the desert and one out to the mesa. But if we go this way, And this is the story time. I promise this is all relevant to the story. So, at 12:30, 40 minutes ago... Hang on, wait a minute. Am I going the correct way to Coral Reef? Yes. Okay. 40 minutes ago, I was like, I should at least put signs so that I know how to get to... Some had been added to the server box last week. Yeah, I've gone through that, believe it or not. All of that is gone. But yeah, so I was like, I should put signs so that I'm not just getting lost in these tunnels for like half an hour while we go, you know, I don't know, exploring or whatever. Is this... So the story time. And the reason that this is super annoying. Yes, this must be it, right? Yes. There had been a coral reef thing here, and there's a portal, and there's a portal in the overworld, and these two portals linked up, and they worked. I've used them multiple times, and they've worked perfectly. For some reason, today, it didn't work. It stuck me, like, way underground, and I don't know why. So I've been trying to link the portals back up, and they refuse to link back up. So I feel like there must be another portal that the one in the overworld is linking to for some reason, and I don't know which one it is. But it's a problem. So this was what I was doing, and why I was slightly late going live, because because I was trying to sort this problem out, but I haven't. This is the best I've been able to do, and we'll see where it takes us. I think it takes us to not terribly far right. So it takes us to here, which is a desert and a mesa, so that's helpful. And it is, well, actually, I don't know if this is the desert mesa combo that we want to be mining. I can't remember. The actual portal should be over there, I think. So why it's not linking up, I don't know, and I'm gonna have to play around with a little while later. Oh gosh, I hope this is where everything is. Oh yeah, so see, you can see where like another portal spawned, and I tried to destroy it so that I could use the portal. Okay, so it's over this way, because I know which way I've had to travel to get to the original portal and try and link it up, because I've done that like 4 times in the last half hour. It's so sad. Okay, I say I know where this is. Do I actually know where this is? Am I going in the wrong direction? Is it that way? Okay, the easiest way to do this, I know what the coordinates are. It's like minus 1300, which is this way, and then 288. Yeah, okay, so we gotta go this way. That's fine. I'm like, I know where I'm going, and I totally don't know where. I totally don't. It's fine. It's been a fine week, a fine morning. So yeah. You'll get more cobblestone. Thank you so much, Dragon. That'd be great. Oh, there it is. Okay, all right. It's this little... See, you can see it. It's like right there. It's not far, but it must be linked to something in the nether. But I can't for the life of me find whatever it is linked to. Because every time I go through it, it spawns a new portal somewhere else in the nether. And then I destroy that portal, and then I try to come back, and it doesn't work. So I feel like I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I'm clearly doing something wrong, and it's very frustrating. But anyway, here, I'll show you where this goes. It's gonna spawn a random portal somewhere, probably. There we go. Yeah, in the middle of, oh gosh. Okay, I do need to be able to, like, get out. There we go. Yeah, so middle of a basalt delta. You can see there was one that spawned over there when I was trying to do this before. So I don't know. I think I need to like go into spectator mode and just find where this thing is. Because for some reason they just won't link up. But it used to work. It did work before, and that's what's so frustrating, is that it worked until like this morning when I tried it, and now it doesn't work. But oh well. Yeah, sounds like a science is needed. Yeah, I agree, Clara. I feel like science is definitely needed. So, that was my story time. But really, we're here for tropical fish and coral, and also pufferfish. I feel like pufferfish are necessary because they actually can protect a cake from thieves. I mean, not super well, but poison is a pretty gnarly effect. Oh, and there's a little one right there. But I do also want to not be here at nighttime, simply because, for those of you who don't play Minecraft, there are zombie-like things that, so, when zombies spawn in the desert, they're actually husks, and they don't disappear. They're basically like mummies, kind of, which I know zombies and mummies, it's the closest equivalent. And they don't disappear when it becomes daytime. Like, they don't light on fire in sunlight. So I just don't want husks being around. I also love how I came out here with no boat, but I do have wood to make a boat. I probably should make a boat. Let me make a boat. I'll make a boat and I'll leave it here. So you can see my crafting table, because I was like, oh gosh, I need to put signs, and then I'll come back to my base and I'll be ready. And then I was like, this isn't working. And then, yeah. So it's fine. Everything is fine. Mummy zombies. Exactly. Video game logic. There we go. Okay. Now, wait a minute. Because there was a pufferfish that was like right there. He is. At the moment, I have 3 buckets. I can fit, what is that, 21 probably? Because I can turn these into, well, I can turn those into sticks and I can ignore this one or something, or get rid of it. Same with the netherrack. I have so much netherrack, I don't need more. So we can fit a fair number of buckets, although the goal is coral and buckets, and probably also some sea pickles. So we'll have to figure it out. There may be multiple trips if I can if I can manage it. I probably can, because I know where that portal is, or that it's over that way somewhere. I know where that portal is. I can find it. Chest boat could have been cute. Oh, that's true. Well, we could still do a chest boat, right? The only difficulty is that if I store things in the chest boat, I can't get from here back to my base with the chest boat. But it's cute. Isn't that just a chest and a boat? Same way that, like, this is telling you exactly how much I've played of 119, where I don't remember how to craft a chest boat. Yeah, there we go. Let's just do a chest boat. Chest boats are fun. Aha. Okay. I love how I spotted the pufferfish, and then I was talking too much, and now I can't find the pufferfish. I don't know if it swam off or it, or if it, what is it? Despawned. That's the term. Oh no, that might be it. Over there. Okay. Let's go see. I do have... Oh, no. I'm usually better at this. Excuse me. Yeah. Okay, fine. Thank you. The downside of pufferfish, but the benefit of easy mode is that the poison doesn't actually do that much damage. And the other thing I was thinking, so I do have a resource pack, which is basically just like a texture pack kind of thing. It changes some of the textures. And there is one that allows for clearer views underwater. Like, look at that difference. And I'm feeling like it only does it while you're out of the water, but I'm feeling like this would be beneficial. Oh, I understand why it didn't work, because I had the stack of 3 buckets. That makes perfect sense. Like, you're continuing to try and get this fish with an empty bucket. Oops. Oh well. It's fine. It's all fine. Come here, fish. Here. Yeah. So, I don't tend to use the resource pack necessarily when I'm streaming, only because there are a lot of people watching, or a certain number of people watching at least, who don't necessarily know Minecraft as a game, and so I like keeping it as vanilla as I can, just so that what they see on my screen looks like what they see on their screen. But when it comes to underwater stuff, this resource pack works really well, and this is coming from Vanilla Tweaks, which I don't actually have a command for, but let me get the thing. Here we go. So that's where the resource packs are. It's really easy. It works with vanilla Minecraft, so you don't have to install anything. Let's let's not be holding fish in our hands. So you don't have to install anything, and you basically pick and choose whichever ones you want. Some of those, the vanilla tweaks options are like kind of completing 3-dimensional textures, like joining them together kind of thing. They're points where they don't quite match up in certain items or mobs or blocks, and then some of them are things like this where it can let you see underwater a lot better. There's also one that has like reduced particles, so that if it's raining or something, it's not, you can still see in the rain basically. And I do have that one in this resource pack. I just don't tend to use it because I'm in a savanna, so when it rains, it doesn't in the savanna, so I don't have to worry about it. But if I had been in a different biome where it did rain or maybe snow, then I would definitely be using this resource pack while streaming, at least for the lower particles and such. But it's really nice. You used to refuse using resource pack, but some things from Vanilla Tweaks are so good. Yeah, they're really nice. There's also one that has like directional. You can get directional hoppers and directional observers. So when you get into like redstone, which is Minecraft's electrical system, kind of, it's like magic electricity. It basically is a much easier way of figuring out which direction they're pointing or facing, which is really helpful. So I'm gonna, let's do, okay, so I do have Aqua Affinity and Respiration 3, and I also have Depth Strider 3. So this should be relatively simple in terms of collecting resources. I think what I'll do is get some of the fans, well, some of the coral, I guess they're not all fans, but some of the coral plants that aren't plants, and then some of the blocks, and then some sea pickles, so that we can light it up down in the shrine, which would be kind of cool actually, that we've got like the candles and then light coming from below. I think that'd be really nice. And then we'll see how many fish I can fit in the rest of my inventory. Directional hoppers, observers, dispensers, etc. Yeah, it's very nice especially if you're trying to build anything that requires a lot of redstone, like a resource farm or a mob farm or something. It's just really helpful to have the directional stuff. Okay, so I'm just gonna start. I do have Silk Touch on this pickaxe. I also now have Silk Touch on a shovel. It's not this shovel. I was trying to get what was I trying to get? I don't remember. I was trying to get some like better efficiency on my shovel, and I enchanted another shovel, and it had way better efficiency, and it also had Fortune 3. Oh, sorry, I was saying I have Silk Touch. I don't have Silk Touch. I want Silk Touch on my shovel. So I was like, no, I can't. And then I didn't have enough levels to enchant again, so I was like, all right, fine. Ooh, this is gonna be a lot of my inventory, isn't it? We might do 2 trips. We might do like coral and such, and then do some fish and such. I should make sure I collect all of the coral, because I don't want to get rid of it, or I don't want to harvest it and then not use it, because that would be sad. Okay. Now so if I mine this, oh no, you just lose the fan. Okay, so that's good to know. Now the other thing is, so this is something that a lot of people have pointed out with coral reefs, is that there's a whole lot in Minecraft that's all about conservation, but with coral reefs, you end up, like, they're not a renewable resource, so you end up, if you want to use the blocks, you end up basically destroying the coral reef, which isn't the greatest. However, I have, oh, this is not what I want. I want the crafting menu. Also, I have way too much bone meal, and I'm very aware of this, but I was like, I'll just put a whole bunch. It'll be fine. As far as I've been told, if you bone meal, there's a chance of growing a coral fan. So that's cool. So it doesn't replace the blocks themselves, but it does replace some of the fans, which is cool. So we might do a little bit of that as we go as well, just because I don't want to completely destroy the landscape. we do want to actually, like, you know, make it slightly sustainable, or at least as sustainable as we can within reason. And what I might do is, like, after the stream, come back here and bone meal a whole bunch of other stuff as well. And so also because of that, I'm not going to get too much of the blocks, just because those they don't what is it? They're non-renewable. But oh. The other thing about the resource pack is that you can turn the sun circular. So the sun is now circular for me. But yeah, I might come back and I'm not going to get terribly many of the blocks, the coral blocks, just because they're a non-renewable resource, and I don't really want to be responsible for that. That was the thought that I failed to finish. I'm so good at this, you guys. Here, actually, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to make a chest in here. And I'm going to put the stuff I don't need. And then I can come back for it if I really want to. Or somebody else can have a free birch plank and some free netherrack. I don't think anybody's gonna want either one of those, but who knows. I did make like a little house, so at the mesa and the desert as well, I've also made like a little hut that just has, well, I think the desert might have a bed in it, or it might just have a crafting table. It's basically just a little hut that people can like sleep in without having to worry about whether they brought a bed with them. So yeah, I need to kind of make sure that they're all stocked with beds and such, but that's the goal. Ooh, hang on. Go. Anything else just floating? I don't think so. All right. So I probably need a few more of the actual blocks. And I might be getting there with the coral. Are these coral fan bubble coral? Oh, right. Okay. I see. Right. Yes. I like the coral and the fans. I kind of want a variety of colors, so I'm aware that we have a whole lot of pink. So I'm thinking, and we've got a decent amount of yellow as well, so actually like reds and blues are kind of the goal at this point. And the reason that we're having to collect these is because the bone meal trick only works in the warm ocean. It doesn't work in the little lake that I've got. It's not going to work there. So as much as I would love to just bone meal the coral there, I'm not going to be able to, unfortunately. I like that you can bone meal these. I'm a little sad. I don't know if you can, I guess you probably can't. Can you bone meal sea pickles? Oh no, yeah, okay, there we go. So I just need to like get some renewable sea pickles going. Hang on, where'd they go? Let's do this. I know I'm about to drown, but it's fine. It's easy mode. It's all good. Oh, but it worked on the. Does it only work on the coral? Maybe. Sea pickles spread to nearby coral. Okay, you can bone meal them on coral. All right. Okay. Well, that's fine. I mean, that's kind of great. Where it just bone meals like an extra 4. That's cool. Okay. Let's see. How many have I got? Did I miss one? Missed both of them. I'm good at collecting stuff, you guys, I promise. Got red, we've got blue. Let's get a little bit of this kind of purpley. One thing I will say, and this is something I do in creative a lot, I use a lot of the coral blocks, like the dead coral blocks, to give different textures in roads and things. It's not easy to do in survival for obvious reasons, as we've talked about. They're non-renewable resources, so you can't actually get that many without just destroying the biome, which is a little sad to do. But it's nice to use in creative because they're all kind of the same color palette, but they have very different textures to the blocks. So it's a nice way to add variety to creative builds. Okay, where are we at? Probably need a bit more the coral. Like the blocks, I mean. I know I haven't gotten any pink. Do I have space for pink? I don't really have space for pink unless I... Whoa! Thank you so much for the follow, Shadow Mousy. Welcome on in. Welcome to the stream. We are getting some coral for a for a security fish detail. We're getting coral and fish. I should say getting coral for a security fish detail. Sounds a little odd because the fish aren't included. But yeah, we're getting some coral. We're probably gonna make a couple trips that are gonna be a little weird through the Nether because the Nether is misbehaving today for some reason that I haven't figured out yet. But yeah, welcome on in. Oh, I thought that was attached to the one below. Oh well, we'll just bone meal. We'll bone meal some. There we go. Okay. Let me see. Grab some more of the pink. Just to have... I think I now have like 4 or 5... Well, I've got 8 of the purpley blocks, so I think that's enough coral. Because it's not a very big space that we're working with. Oh, and there's more over here. All right, so let's let's make sure I've collected everything. I could do so if you do F3B, that'll show you hit boxes. So like basically of any entity, you'll be able to see the box where if you hit it with a weapon or a tool or something, it'll you didn't realize you weren't following your dragon's wife? Oh, welcome on in! Yeah, I've seen you in Clara and Dragon's chat for a bit and in those streams and things, so yeah, very happy to have you, and don't worry at all about about not realizing you weren't following. I've done that so many times where I'm like, oh, I thought I've been following him for like months and months, and yeah, so welcome on in. So yeah, so with the hitboxes, it lets you see basically like where you hit something with a weapon or a tool that will do something like that will actually have an effect on the block. So if I try to like hit the boat there over here, it's not going to do anything, but if I hit it here, it does. Although of course I've just done that with my inventory being super full. So hang on just a second. I forgot that I was not in the best inventory places to be giving a demonstration. Hold on. Let's do this. And then the other thing that I dropped, where'd they go? The point of doing hitboxes on is to be able to find coral, but the difficulty in the oceans is that all of the fish also have hitboxes. So it's not as useful. If you're in the Nether or something, like if you're in the Nether tunnels and you're trying to find where you dropped something, turning hitboxes on helps, but it doesn't always help depending on what you're looking for. Okay, I think we've got a decent number of a decent amount of coral. I think what I'm gonna do is go back here. Hello, dolphin. I'm gonna go back to my base. I have enough time. I should have enough time. I can't use this portal. If anybody's new in chat, for some reason the portal didn't link up today, so it made it keeps making new portals over here every time I try to get it to link up, and so there must be a portal somewhere, even though it worked perfectly before, and I don't know why it's not working now, but oh well. So I have to go over here for a portal instead. It's just deciding to be ornery today. Dolphins, the thieves of the sea. That is true. But I mean, like, oh no! Why? I thought that one was... I thought that one would get me back to the... No. No. Wait, but... Okay, alright, hang on. If I do this... But that would be a bad idea, because I can't get back. But this is where the other one joined up. Okay. And I don't have, like, any blocks. Okay. Let's just... I also don't have anywhere to... Okay, we're gonna get rid of the torches for a second. Torches are just gonna go here. Oh, let me... Hang on. Let me pick this up. I'm so happy to be so close to lava. what I assume is probably lava. I mean, well, no, actually, I was gonna say if it is lava and I die, then I'll just go back to my base anyway. But that's not true. That's not how that's gonna work. So we're just gonna tower. This is what it's been doing, and I don't know why. And I was hoping that if I just had the two separate portals and paid attention to which one went where, it would do something. But it won't. So that's fine. It's, oh. Let's do this. There we go. I mean, in reality, so long as I get back to my base, it's not the end of the world. Because getting back to the coral reef is still super easy. It's just getting back home from the coral reef that is apparently just not possible. Or not easy. It is possible. It's not easy. The other annoying thing is that the tunnels are very close to the nether roof for, like, obvious reasons, just because it's easier to get to the nether roof from there. And people are gonna be... Right. Okay. So, question now. Okay. I'm at the level of the tunnels, or at least I believe I am. Minus 171. Is there a... Okay, which way is this one? Minus 171. Minus 170. Okay. I think there's a tunnel over this way. Let me see. Look at me go! I know this tunnel system. Okay, now I am at... Where's an easier... Let's go this way. I'm over here, I think. And then I should be this way. Oh, there we go. Look at this. Oh no, this is where the coral reef is. See, like, it'll be right next to where this portal is. And for some reason, it just doesn't. It just doesn't. Which is infuriating. So I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know what's wrong. And I'll go back and deal. Ah, dude. I mean, I'm glad you missed. I probably should slab my hallway at some point. I just haven't yet. So I'm like, oh, this is a lot. I just want all of it to be safe. Oh no, and now it's nighttime because I got so confused. I was like, I'll have time to get back without spawning mobs. It'll be fine. And then, oh. And then I spawned in the wrong spot. Oh, and I haven't eaten. I'm sorry, dragon. I haven't eaten, so I'm slow. Hang on. It'll work. Everything will work. It's all fine. Everything is fine. Oh. Alright, okay. So, let's put this all in here just now. So we've got, okay, we've got a total of like 20, what is that? 28 blocks and a whole bunch of fans. I probably have way more fans than I need. Well, coral and coral fans. So many. Eat. Yeah, I should remember to eat. Hang on, wait. Aw. Not that I need the nether rack. I have so much. I have like 2 chests worth of nether rack. Anyway, we're good on coral. We're good on the blocks. And if you can bone meal sea pickles on blocks, then actually I didn't necessarily need to collect this many sea pickles. But it also means that we don't have to worry about whether I have enough sea pickles. So I really didn't need all these bone blocks, and that's perfectly fine. I'm gonna wait to deposit these guys until it's definitely safe to do that. So we'll go back, we'll make some buckets, and then we'll go fish hunting. And by hunting, I mean capturing. we're not gonna murder the fish. Or at least we're gonna try our best not to. Okay, let's see where the nether what the nether decides to do this time. Especially because the portals aren't linked up. I don't know. It's gonna dump me somewhere. Yeah, okay. It's fine. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. It's all fine. We're gonna go back this way. This would be, like, I wouldn't mind it if it just worked out this way and, like, I hadn't tested it and I was like, oh, that was my fault. I didn't test and I should have tested it. But I tested it multiple times and it worked. So I'm like, why? Why can't you find the coral reef? I can find the coral reef. It's right over here. I know exactly where it is. And I also, so like so where I had had the portal originally, which was actually over here, that was where the portal from the coral reef went to. Like, it went to those coordinates, so I just brought it up. And then I moved it over, well, actually, it was right in the middle of this tunnel, so I moved it over there by, like, a block or 2, right? So it should still link up, because that's how nether portals work. They're supposed to link up when they're within a few blocks of where they spawn. And it didn't, and I was like, okay, maybe that just took it, like, just out of the ideal range of where that should be, so I put it over on this side, and then it landed, like, nowhere reasonable, and I was like, okay, what's the actual math? This is the actual math of where the portal is supposed to be, and it still puts me in weird places. So I've now done it, like, 17 billion times, and it just doesn't like me. And I should say by 17 billion, I mean about 6. So I've done it about... You removed the one I spawned to? Oh, the one in the nether that I spawned to? Or the one at the coral reef? The one in the nether. Okay, cool. We'll see. Here, I'm gonna show you how this goes, because I have done this so many times. If it works, I'm gonna be annoyed that it's not showing you guys what it does, but I also am gonna be really happy that it works, but I highly doubt it's gonna work. We go through here. Don't worry, I can come back through. See? It puts me here. It puts me here. Why? Anyway, I'm gonna go back through and get my fish. Oh, I guess I hadn't... No, but I had... okay, there are a lot of things I've removed. I don't know. I guess that one I hadn't technically removed. So we'll test the other one when we go back. 15 blocks lower than where it was. It's so annoying. Anyway, okay, let's go do fish. Let's get fish. It'll be a project that we can figure out as a server or something. Okay, so we have 2. We have 1 pufferfish and 1 tropical fish. This is a serious question. How many fish is too many? Because I feel like there might be a case for there's never enough, there's no such thing as too many fish. But there is also entity cramming, so so technically in the game there is an answer. there are too many fish. 1,000 is too many in that spot. Yeah, 1,000 is never enough fish. Exactly. See, I love how all of you typed out those answers basically right before or as I was saying them. That's beautiful. Okay, well let's start with 9 and see how we feel. I have been making some sales in my amethyst shop because somebody, at least one person, needed some tinted glass, which is cool. So I have somebody's also selling some iron in little pop-up shops, and so it's like we can get iron, you guys. Iron is good. We're fine on iron. The dark mode UI, yes, I do. I really like the dark mode UI, in part because the contrast. I like being able to see like super clear differences. So again, with this resource pack, you can kind of recolor the user interface and such. There are a lot of different things you can do with the vanilla tweak stuff. Technically, 25 or so would have to be in the same block to entity cram. Yeah, I think it's around there. Which admittedly is when I know that I need to start swinging my sword in the skeleton farm, is when they start landing and dying. And then I'm like, all right, okay, this is entity cramming. let's get rid of the however many are in here. Okay, so the only downside is that I have to remember to scroll. But I think we can get a nice variety of tropical fish. I feel like we could do like 10 tropical fish and like 5 puffer fish. I feel like that would be reasonable, probably, maybe. Pretty, here, come here. Let's get you. This is not gonna work well, but oh, I did it! Oh, I should probably breathe. Breathing is good. That sounds good. Yeah, like 10 tropical fish and like 5 puffer fish because they can actually help with the security detail. And then Stream Elements. I mean, I'm happy that Stream Elements is posting those things, but I've told it to use different times. Okay, all right. Things It's a day. It's a day. It's fine. Everything is fine. Aw, I wasn't so good at that one. That's fine. Alright, so we'll need 9 tropical fish and 4 puffer fish. I do really like the tropical fish. Hey, come on. Stop bobbing and weaving. Even though you're a fish and that's what you do, just hang on a second there. There's another pufferfish there. I don't know if I've got more buckets. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. So, that's 8. So I need 1 more. Did I get the parrot fish, butterfly fish? Oh my gosh, I didn't realize that they all have names. That's cool. Like, I knew that the models were modeled after actual tropical fish. I just didn't realize that it told you. I didn't realize it told you in the user interface. That's cool. I'm gonna go make some more buckets. Another thing the resource pack does is it makes 3-dimensional sugarcane. So you can do that as well. 3-dimensional bamboo and 3-dimensional sugarcane, which I quite like. But I suppose not everybody necessarily does. What do I need? I need 1, 2, 3, 4 more blocks. Not blocks, buckets. 4 more buckets. All right. The names are pretty fun. Yeah, they're pretty great. I like them a lot. Okay, let's... Oh, I see 2 pufferfish there. 1 down here. Let's not zoom too close to poison death fish. Oh! Okay. Land death incoming. Oh! Okay, so far I am better at catching the pufferfish without dying than I am at catching pufferfish. Oh, did I made 1 extra bucket, didn't I? Okay, I made 1 too many bucket. That's a plural. 1 too many buckets. I can speak English, I promise. I have a PhD, I swear. I'm a functioning human sometimes. So with the last bucket, what do we think? Pufferfish or tropical fish? I'm kind of feeling maybe a tropical fish just because 5 pufferfish is a lot already. But I wouldn't say no to a 6th pufferfish. I could also just make 1 additional bucket and then we could have 11 and 6 instead of 10 and 5. Or I could just not catch another fish and we could still have 10 and 5. Both. You want both? All right, let's do both. We can do both. I mean, I did literally say we're good on iron for buckets. We can get iron. There was a pufferfish over this away. Aw, okay. All right. Okay. So I'm about maybe 50-50 on catching pufferfish without getting poisoned. Maybe. I did in like a server with my cousin, I had a, oh gosh. Oh, the dolphin. I was like, I am speeding up a lot. I have no idea which fish I caught there. The dolphin just made me zoom. Yeah, so this is another thing if you haven't played much Minecraft. The dolphins, while you're swimming, they give you something called Dolphin's Grace, which lets you go super speedy, which is fun, but also a little bit difficult to maneuver and a little bit potentially dizzying if you get motion sickness or something. There we go. Where am I going? I feel like I had another thought in there that I was in the middle of, and I genuinely don't remember what it is. So I apologize for not finishing whatever thought that was. I don't remember it. Unintentional Dolphin's Grace is so hard to control. Yeah. A thread fin. I don't know what a thread fin is. Oh, the previous server. Yeah. So, Jossie and I had a server, along with, some other people, and I had a base. Oh, I knew that this is where this was gonna take me. Hang on. This was the wrong one. Hang on. Let's go to the other one. And pufferfish. Yeah. So I had a base on the ocean because I was curious. That way. Okay. I'm so put together. I know how to play this game. I'm not directionally challenged. So I had a base on the ocean that was largely made out of like trapdoor bridges between different like little almost like bubble kind of islands, and it was over a coral reef, and so there were pufferfish everywhere. So I am experienced at dealing with pufferfish, but I also am one of those people who doesn't particularly care too much if if the pufferfish oh, it took me to the same one. Okay, all right. This one is significantly harder to get somewhere from. Okay, let's go over this way. We're gonna, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. Ooh, there are torches though. I mean, oh, no. Not today, skeleton. You tried. Oh yeah, no, don't worry about it, dragon. I have also tried multiple times and it doesn't work, and I don't know why. But it is not your fault. Whatever is going on is not your fault. I'll jump into like spectator at some point, or like my camera account, and take a look. Okay, I don't know that trying to follow the torches is necessarily gonna be... I mean, the torches are gonna lead somewhere. Whether they lead there quickly is another question. This feels like this person may have fallen. Alright, okay. There's stuff over here. It's, it's a chance to explore the nether a little bit. I appreciate whoever's staircase this is. I don't know whose it is, but I like that it exists. Might need to break all of them, both the Nether and the Overworld, and start over. Yeah, I thought about that, or at least I definitely have broken the Overworld one and thought maybe that's the issue. And it doesn't seem to have necessarily done much, which is a shame. Okay. I feel like I've come this way before. Let's just get some blocks. Let's just get some blocks. Okay, alright. Sorry, I don't think this is anyone's, like, actual precious staircase or anything. I do appreciate that somebody's been here already, and I have taken... I was about to launch a puffer fish at him, which would have been really bad. Okay. Bridge over there. At this point, I'm now following these torches. We will get back to the overworld, I promise. I'm pretty sure these torches will likely lead somewhere useful. Okay, all right. See, we're doing. I'm a fan of. I'm a fan. Starting to be a fan. There we go. This is the spawn portal. I'll just use this, and then we'll use my road from spawn. Eat, please. Sorry, dragon. I'm so used to like having my respawn point set, so it doesn't matter if I eat necessarily. Like, it's not the best thing, but it's not the end of the world. so I just don't. I forget to pay attention to food. That's force of habit. I usually have a horse with me when I go to spawn now. Oh, we can actually, hang on, we can check the amethyst shop. I need to bring, I have my my little amethyst blocks, the mini ones. I need to bring them to the amethyst shop and some crystals. I have brought some crystals, but I need to do a few more. Oh, this is another thing the resource pack does. It can turn the crystals three-dimensional too. I don't think I've made any sales since I last checked, but it was worth checking. Okay, we're gonna actually do this coral reef thing in the bottom of the shrine. It's all gonna be fine, and we'll try to make a front to it as well. We should have enough time to do that. It shouldn't take huge amounts of time to do the coral reef bit. And the fish security detail. Which I have to be honest, I've formed the sentence now multiple times of fish security detail to protect my shrine to cake. And I have to be honest, that's not a sentence I ever thought anybody would form in English or any other language. Let alone me. So it's quite fun. It's a good sentence. Also, I'm glad I have this road so that I know exactly where to go and I don't have to think about it. I still haven't done much with these villagers. I've traded with the farming villagers. They're two farmers that I've traded a lot with. But I haven't done much with anybody else in here. There are a couple other villagers. You don't see them very often, but they do exist. But I haven't gotten terribly into the villagers yet. That's on the to-do list. Minecraft does result in strange sentences. Yeah, I feel like video games in general, tabletop role-playing games, lots of strange sentences in there. So many strange sentences in games. It's pretty great. Okay, well, it took all day to get some fish. But we made it. Yay! I'm gonna put some of these nope, hang on, this side. I'm gonna put some of these away. I'm gonna put the netherrack away. This is the second chest. This is the first chest. When I say I don't need netherrack, I really don't need netherrack. What I should do is I should smelt it all up into nether bricks and then like sell those if anybody wants them. But I don't know if anybody necessarily wants nether brick, so it might just be a lot of smelting. Oops, hang on. Wrong keys. Might just end up being a lot of smelting for nothing. I am going to swap out the fish buckets for oral and the fans. And I do have bone meal. I should get some glass though, because we need to make sure that the fish can't escape. Not because I don't want the fish to be free, but because if they escape, this is not a tropical place, and that's a problem for tropical fish in a place like this. All right. Oh, this resource pack also has the single terracotta textures, so the creeper faces are gone. On the one hand, I approve. Really? Where? No, seriously, where? Oh, there. Oh, okay. Hello. Hello. Let's see. I mean, I've set my spawn. I feel like I should try, just in case he gives me just in case he gives me a trident. This might be a mistake. I could use my shield. The thing about the trident guys is that they're so they just kind of go constantly at you with the shield. Like there's almost, it's, what am I saying? It's rare. No trident, just copper. It's rare with the trident guys that they like give you a breather between throwing their trident. So in a sense, like you can use a shield. It's often not worth it. Yeah, no trident. Ugh. It's okay. I mean, they do spawn here quite frequently. Let me actually, I'm curious. See, this is where there's another one right there. But I don't know if they've got a, I don't think they have a trident. They don't look like they have a trident, so they're not worth it. Oops, my hand, I keep putting my fingers on the wrong keys. Okay, so we do want this space to be, oh, hello, sir. All right, I guess you are worth it. Go away. This is something where I'm not entirely sure, because, so my sword is not like the most enchanted thing in the world. It has, where am I? It has fire aspect 2 and sharpness 4. Whereas my axe doesn't have any like bonuses to damage necessarily, but it's, yeah. Okay, so technically the sword is slightly better than my axe is, but not by huge amounts. So it's like, in the water, when I can't use fire aspect, is this worth it? But apparently it is. And yeah, this is a very good lake for getting a trident, potentially. It's also something where I could potentially, like, turn it into a drowned farm. But the thing about drowned farms is that they take up a lot of space and they're really big and they're not the prettiest of things. So I often don't make drowned farms even when I could, just because it's like, I don't really want to deal with that. Plus, there are other people on this server who are significantly closer to what am I saying? Like ocean spaces that would be better for things like drowned farms. So I'll just leave it. I mean, if you're gonna give me another opportunity to get a trident, especially if you can't throw it terribly well, it helps that it helps that we're on easy mode. I don't think I got a trident that time either, though. No. Very sad. Come at me, bro. Swim very slowly towards me. Come on. I suppose I should actually try to crit him. There we go. Okay, so what I want is... I want to keep this area, like, down here relatively open so that the fish can actually, like, see the rest of... I don't want them being in, like, a tiny little bubble kind of situation. So maybe what we do is we grab these. I'm going to leave that block for now just because that's the block that I'm currently using to get in and out. And then if I do, like, I don't know. If I put the glass wall, like, here. Yeah, okay. Let's give them a decent amount of space. Oh, I should, hang on. The downside, or the difficulty of... Oh, good morning, Miss Halkian. Halkian? If I'm saying that incorrectly, tell me how I'm supposed to say it. I don't want to be mispronouncing names. But good morning, happy Tuesday. You prefer axes unless you're trying to get the loot. Yeah, I tend to prefer axes because I feel like I can hit better with the axes. I don't know if that's actually true. Halcyon. Ah, okay. Halcyon. I will do my best to remember that. I'm a big proponent of learning how to say people's names properly because names are important, and if somebody tells you how they would like to be called, you should respect that. So I'm very, very big on learning people's names. Okay, I know I'm not carving this out necessarily, but I feel like if I only went with the width of the shrine, then the fish wouldn't have that much space to see out, and I kind of like them having a little bit more space. So I'm just doing this. Can I get out this way? Yes, I can. Okay, all right, that's fine. Oh, there we go. Here. Okay. Oh, and this is gonna have to come up one anyway. Let's get these before they despawn, because they might be useful. Up through iron, a crit with an axe does more damage than a sword, but at diamond it switches. Yeah, so I always use an axe until I have diamond gear anyway, because of that, Jossie, because diamonds are actually, not diamonds, iron axes are actually better for attacking things than swords, iron swords, and the same with stone. But then I get so used to just having an axe as my weapon that I forget about swords until I'm like making a skeleton farm, and then I'm like, oh yeah, actually I should probably use a sword that maybe has smite on it, which I need to do just because it's a lot easier to get stuff. And then yeah, that's I eventually remember these things. Eventually. I'm gonna seal this up with glass as well. I know that it's 2 layers of glass, but I don't want the tropical fish or the puffer fish to have any potential way of getting out. Again, because this is not a tropical ocean. And as much as we're doing lore-based stuff, I want to make sure that the fish are actually, like, logically taken care of. You crafted a sword for the first time when they introduced bamboo. Oh, yeah, because you do the pacifist runs, right? So you haven't actually, you were saying you haven't killed any mobs intentionally in Minecraft since, and you've been playing since, what was it? Did you say 1.8? Robert? I think that's what you said, which is super impressive to me. It sounds really fun because I really like kind of bringing your own rules into Minecraft and playing the game the way that you want to play it. And that's something that I hadn't thought of as a way to play before. and I really like the idea, because my guess is that, similar to me approaching Minecraft through like an archaeological lens, forces me to approach the game in a totally different way and kind of play the game differently. I would imagine if you're doing a pacifist run, that forces you to think about Minecraft in a totally different way, or you know, in at least some very different ways to how you might otherwise. You also almost never use a sword, even once you have diamond, because you're so used to the axe crit motion. Yeah, I'm not the best at doing axe crits, because I'm not good at, like, I can do the jump and hit, but the like, if you're trying to move forward while jumping and then do the backward thing, like that kind of complex movement, my brain doesn't process. So I could sit and like teach myself how to do it. I just haven't needed to. So I'm like, it's fine. Do you have a snotty panda-based slime farm? Yeah, that's true. That would be great if well, maybe not in your current playthrough, Robert, unless you're near bamboo again, but I've never made a snotty panda-based slime farm. I rarely ever find pandas in Minecraft. It's kind of sad. Okay, let me actually start doing this. Again? I think technically my sword is better. Where are you? There. Hello. I was hoping the third time would be the charm, but it's not. Oh, what happened there? I think I got stuck in swim mode through the glass. Okay, all right. Let's dig this out, because we're still not getting any tridents. I am also gonna block this off, just because, again, I don't want any reason for the fish to... I'll leave the torch there. Not that the torch is needed, but I don't want any reason for the fish to end up somewhere they shouldn't be. Hang on, actually, let's also do this and do... Oh, I thought that was... Okay, alright. I thought that was... Oh no, it's this one. Alright, I see. I understand. Nope. I understand. I know what I'm doing. Is this... Yeah, okay. I don't want the fish to die. I'm so nervous about these fish dying. I mean, if they do, I can go back to the coral reef and get more, but I want to at least give them as much of a chance as I can. And I'm going to take most of this stone out because we do want to turn it into coral reef situations. I've now also only given myself one block where I can breathe, which is good to remember. You think you mostly buy slime from the Wandering Trader? Don't do much redstone. Yeah. You'd like a better source of black dye. Me too. Excuse me, child. No. I mean, I'm getting a lot of copper. If I could get a trident, that would be cooler. Then we could do the terrifying thing of going out in thunderstorms. Another one. They just keep spawning. All right. Well, that's fine. There's not much space for them to get to. It's all good. Everything is fine. It's all fine. Without looting 3, you feel like it's super hard to get tridents? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. Having again had a base that was on an ocean. It was on a warm ocean, so it was like right on top of the coral reef that was then right next to a what is it, lukewarm ocean, I guess, where drowned were spawning all over the place. So I also had a fair amount of dealing with trident drowned in that base, and yeah, until I had looting on my sword, I did not see a trident. And actually, I think I even didn't. I ended up building a drowned farm to try and get nautilus shells because I wanted a conduit so I could breathe underwater at my base. And that was when I finally got my first trident. was a drowned farm instead of actually doing instead of actually hunting drowned. Are you stuck? I feel kind of bad. I'm sorry. I just... Here, you know what? If I go down here, you run away? No, you're still... Maybe because I hit him. Alright. So... We have... What is it? 28 blocks? Which is not enough to make this whole thing a coral reef, necessarily. But I feel like we can make a lot of it a coral reef. Just kind of... I don't know. I'm just placing blocks at this point. I'm just making it look a little weird. I feel like there's a certain amount of people who are nervous about building in Minecraft. One of the things, and this is weirdly something that also occurs in archaeology, not in terms of building in Minecraft, but in terms of so I'm a material culture specialist, so I do a lot of creating what we call typologies. Wow, sir. Creating typologies, which is basically how we distinguish between different items. So, for example, if you were to do a typology of Minecraft tools, you might put all the pickaxes together and have them be a single category, or you might put all the diamond tools together and have that be a single category. So it's basically just creating different categories so that we can look at the objects across different sites and start to try and figure out if there are any patterns to those objects and to where they are. So typologies, they're really just sorting systems. They're categories. And you can have any kind of typology that you want. So what's interesting in archaeology is people often come in and they see all of these typologies that other people have made, and they're like, oh gosh, I have to learn all these typologies. And you do, to a degree, but also, if you're making a typology yourself, you just categorize stuff. It's not the hardest thing in the world. You don't need to be paying attention to what everybody else necessarily paid attention to. You can just kind of wing it and do your own thing, and it's going to be fine. And a lot of my students would be so we did this exercise in class with them to create their own typology, and they'd be like, well, we do just have this group of objects that we don't really know what to do with. So we've given them each their own category because they're kind of, the odd one out sort of thing. Did I? Oh no. It's I thought I used my silk touch pickaxe. Anyway, so they'd be a little confused and unsure of what to do. And I would sit there and say, well, here's the thing. If you look at any typology, any archaeological typology that's ever been created, there is always the category that it's the last category, and it's always the we don't really know what's going on with these ones category. It's the miscellaneous, kind of category. And so it's okay to have that category in your own typology, because sometimes you just don't know what's going on, right? And you just kind of go with it and hope for the best, right? And the thing with the reason that this connects to building in Minecraft, in my mind, is because a lot of the time, especially people who are new to building, they might be a little bit worried about, what if it looks bad, or what if I'm not doing it right? And the answer is you're doing it right. you just kind of wing it, and you'll be okay. You don't need to have, this super awesome plan of, how everything is gonna work, and it's okay to just wing it. In fact, it's encouraged kind of to... Why is that? Why? weird. Oh. Okay. I'll have to fix that. But yeah, so basically with building, it's encouraged to just kind of wing it and to just kind of do your own thing and to not worry too much about, you know, does this fit in with what other people have been doing for a while, or am I, you know, doing something that's totally out of left field and nobody's gonna want to look at it or whatever. Like, don't worry about it, just build. Same with art. Art is the same way. Like, it's okay if you do something different to other people. In fact, it's almost encouraged. So if kind of messing around with things, hey, I got cake again. That was admittedly unintentional, but I will take the free cake. Well, okay, it's continuing to give me cake. I feel like it's like, we understand that we have messed up your nether portals, so here, have free cake on us for the rest of the day. Of course, I say that, watch it immediately give me like a bunch of fireworks to the face now that I've said all that. You making your new storage system yesterday, so much. I'll put it here and figure it out later. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I think it's one of those things where, and I know it's a little weird to have that connection, and it's not the best of connections between between archaeology and Minecraft, but I feel like it works. It's kind of echoing in that similar thing I said. What did I say? Did I say it last week or the week before? There's a point where I was like, if anybody ever tells you that you're not smart enough to do a degree, don't listen to them. Like, you probably are. Like, who are they to? How much do they know about what your capabilities are? Like, just I'm one of those people who, when people tell me no, I find a way to do it regardless. I'm a little bit like luring me into a false sense of cake security. Luring and lulling, Robert, but I like the luring pun as well with the fish. Even if that pun was unintentional, it's a good one. I make unintentional puns all the time, and I definitely claim credit for them. So you are more than welcome to. At this point, I'm just placing stuff in random places because it's fun. I'm also trying to kind of mix the colors a little bit, not because I don't like having the same color on, the same color, like the same color of coral block with the same color of coral on it. It's just that I feel like you can see the different colors a lot better. Okay, so that can't go here. But I'm not sure why. I just in the... Oh, is it because that's not a... Oh, there we go. That's the rocket to the face. You definitely meant to do that thing that you definitely meant to do. I do that all the time, Robert. I make puns and then people are like, hey, and I'm like, uh-huh. I'm like, oh no, yeah, I meant that. Uh-huh. That's, mm-hmm. I'm smart enough to have done that. Okay, let's what am I even doing now? I feel like I'm slightly getting into the loopy part of the stream. If I haven't been there already. But you guys don't seem to mind when I'm loopy, so I worry about it a lot less. Yes, I'm on the ground, like down here. And I'm gonna bone meal as well and get some, well, actually, I say I'm gonna bone meal. There's not terribly much space for bone mealing necessarily. Here, we'll do that, and then I've got so much coral. But I do feel like some seagrass would be cool. So, maybe let's do this. That. Okay, alright, and then I'll do a red down there. I'll do a yellow here. I'll try not to drown. And I will eat, I promise. I will eat. Is there a surface? Oh, this isn't a fan one. Put it over here, though. There we go. let's... Can I... Yeah. That's another thing, or this is another thing. Sorry, that was super loud. Sorry if I just jump scared any of you by saying that's another thing way too loud. With Minecraft builders, a lot of people will say, like, don't bone meal and just, you know, call it good kind of situation. I bone meal all the time and call it good. It's like, if it works, it works. I was so excited that that guy was maybe another trident guy, but no, it's a fishing rod. And I really don't need a fishing rod unless it's enchanted, and it doesn't look enchanted. So, I mean, it saves me using string, but I'm pretty sure I can get the... You think the bone mealing would probably have fixed the blocks that didn't have proper water sources? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Which, honestly, I probably should have done sooner, but oh well. But yeah, I like this. I feel like this looks quite good. And I might, at some point, like, come in and kind of do the lining of this. But I also like the more natural look as well, so I don't know. Let's see, let's look at it from above. Yeah. I don't know. I might put, like, sand in the bottom or something, which I know means that I'll have to... If I do that, I would have to pull up a whole bunch of the stuff that I just put down, so I'll probably actually leave it the way it is. You embrace the randomness of bone meal a lot. Yeah, I like to bone meal and then kind of see what that does, and then take out the bits of it that I don't like, and then bone meal again and see what I like about it, leave what I like, and take out what I don't like. And it's like, that's a perfectly... If I bone meal and I like all of it, then I leave it. You know? Okay. I think it's time for fish down here, but we need this to be complete, or close enough to complete. So, I need... Oh, hang on. Sorry, I had to cough real quick. I need to figure out what the entrance of this is gonna be, I think. Okay. I like the idea of having this andesite, like, I need the andesite to go right here, and probably just up above it, and then have, like, a doorway that's here. And then what I'll probably do, either off-stream or maybe on-stream if I come up with a good idea and want to save it for a stream, but I'll make some kind of walkway that gets us over here, probably from over there. But let's do the entrance first, because then I can put the fish in and feel like they're relatively safe. Gonna lurk without sounds for a bit. Loving the coral so far. No problem, Jossie. Thanks for lurking. Also, thank you to anybody else who is lurking. I know that we don't often necessarily know that you're lurking, because that's the kind of the whole point. But yeah, it's always nice to have people lurking, and I am a frequent lurker in streams, so I am very grateful to any and all who are in stream, whether they're lurking or chatting or both or whatever. It's always nice. What am I thinking for that entrance? Probably andesite. You know what? Let's grab a little more andesite. I should put this on the andesite. And that's glass panes. I know what I'm doing. Trying to think of what might be a good entrance. Let's get the wall in and then see what kind of entrance I really want. I'm almost wondering... Okay, there was a part of me just then... No. There was a part of me just then that was like, what if the door was a piston door? That would be kind of cool. But then I was like, the other thing though is that if the door is a piston door, that requires redstone, and I don't know where I can put the redstone in all of this. So it's possible, but it's complicated. So I don't know that I want the door to be a piston door. I might keep it like the warped wood. We've got a warped wood theme going on in here. I do need to get wax for these. So for anybody who wasn't here when we built the cake shrine, we decorated it. I did the whole like dark, like the deep slate, whichever version these are. They're not bricks, but they're kind of bricks. And then I thought, oh, I'll put like some shiny blocks right above them. And we had copper, iron, and gold, or was it? No, it was gold, iron, and redstone. And then I realized that the colors of the cake are like this brownish color and this white color and this red color, and we had the white, we had the red, and so I swapped the gold out for copper. so that's where the colors are coming from, and I need to wax these so that they stay copper, but it's literally just the cake colors on the walls. because it works, you know, it works. You lurk and work a lot? Yeah. I absolutely lurk and work. Not just on my, well, I don't lurk on my stream. I was about to say not just on my stream, but I'm like, well, I can't lurk on my stream, obviously, but I do it on, yeah, a lot of people's streams. I don't know that I want to have, I could echo this and have the door be in the middle, but I feel like that's not gonna be as interesting. But it could be half lurking while doing a giant mining project. Ooh, that sounds fun. I enjoy listening to other people's Minecraft streams while I play Minecraft. The only difficulty is that if, hello, Ulraf, welcome on in. Lurking is the best. Yeah, lurking is fun. Lurking is good. Welcome on in. I had a thought and then I lost it. So, welcome to Chronic Illness Brain. But yeah, welcome to everybody, lurkers included. I'm a huge fan of people who lurk and people who chat. I'm a fan of everybody. Really, anybody who feels like hanging out in my stream. I'm very grateful for, and I should probably sleep before these lovely mobs start attack. Another trident guy. Okay, well, we'll see. We'll sleep first. Hopefully he should still be there. Okay. Let's see if we get a trident. This is attempt number 4 because it's trident guy number 4. Still there? Way down. Okay. Trident? No, but there's another one. Hello. Hello. Oh. Was that a trident, or was he just throwing one for for one last time? I feel like he was just throwing one. I would see it in my hotbar if I got a trident. Yeah. I was like, maybe it just went somewhere else in my inventory. So yeah, that was attempts number 4 and 5. No tridents. I don't have looting on my sword, so it's not, yeah, it's not there. Watching others while playing Minecraft can result in interesting jump scares and confusion. Yes, that's what I was about to say before the trident guy happened. Especially if it's a streamer who has jump scares in the channel points redemptions, which I specifically do not have, because you all have seen me when it isn't a jump scare and my camera goes all over the place and such. So I feel like it's not a good idea for me to to do that as channel redemptions necessarily. Yeah, very much agreed. It can result in a lot of jump scares. It helps if they're in a different dimension to where you are while you're playing. Like if somebody's in the nether and I'm in the overworld, I'm like, okay, this is fine. Any ghast noises I hear, I don't have to worry about. But I also sometimes often don't remember that. Don't remember to do that. You know, I'm saying I don't want to put the same design, but maybe I do. And we put the gold on either end. Do we want the gold? Because this is a very blue structure, but we could do oxidized copper on either side. You do enjoy startling certain people. Streamer where the creeper explosion plays whenever someone subscribes. Oh man. No thank you. That would be so difficult. I'm always impressed. Like, I think Zombie Cleo and a few other people have the Enderman screech noise as a channel point redemption, and I would not be able to deal with that. It's just too much of a jump scare. Which is like, no thank you. I don't know. I'm good. Oh, I didn't come back for this. I came back for Deep Slate. Where is Deep Slate? There it is. Okay. I only need like 2. Well, I'll just... I'm like, we only need 2, but knowing how many times I have miscalculated what I need, let's go for more than 2. Okay, I'm gonna bring... Here. Let's do these. I'm gonna bring both and see what I feel about them. I haven't brought a door. I'm not gonna bring a door yet, because if we go with gold versus oxidized copper, we're probably gonna want different colored doors. Like, the blue theme... Oh, I can't jump into water anymore. Oops. Oh well, that's fine. Yeah, because with the blue theme, the warped wood looks really good. But if we do, like, the gold... Another trident guy. I shouldn't be assuming they're all guys. Another trident drowned. I was gonna say person, but... Listened to the Spawn Chunks episode with me recently. It was very interesting hearing all my thoughts about archaeology. Love the idea for this server. Thank you so much, Ulraf. That's wonderful to hear. Yeah, I had a lot of fun chatting with Pixel Riffs and Joel. We did a conference, Pixel Riffs and I did a conference for the Archaeo Gaming Collective. Excuse me, sir. You throw a trident into the cake shrine, and now it's a problem. Oh gosh, okay. Is there another one, or am I just getting directly hit? Oh no, there is another one. Okay. If I die, it's fine. Okay. I haven't died. Have I got a trident? This is the question. Yeah, so Pixel Riffs and I did a talk at the conference, and I also did another talk at the conference, just kind of solo, talking about Minecraft as a medium for education, and particularly heritage education. Is that... Oh no, it's dripstone. I don't need dripstone. It's always been really interesting kind of approaching it from a different perspective. No trident. No trident at all. Yeah, no respect for the sanctity of the cake shrine. I very much agree, Robert. We gotta maintain respect for the cake shrine. So yeah, so we really enjoyed doing those talks. And then the Spawn Chunks episode, Pixel Riffs asked if I'd be interested. Oh, I said I only needed 2, and I definitely need 3, but that's fine. I'm not sure I'm gonna go with the gold anyway. The gold feels like very kind of... Oh, but it does go kind of nice with the cyan. Keeping in mind that we would probably bring it out a little bit, like 1 more block. I don't know. This is where I'm getting very distracted between like 7 different thoughts. But yeah, the conference talks were a lot of fun, and then a bunch of people in the server, where the Archaeo Gaming server, were like, hey, we'd really like to explore Minecraft and have a server, but we don't know how to do that. And I was like, well, I don't really know how to do it either, but I probably will have an easier time figuring it out than a lot of people who've never played Minecraft before, because I've been playing Minecraft for a number of years now. But I don't remember which update I started playing Minecraft in, if I'm honest. I don't know. But I've played many hours, especially because as a chronically ill person, Minecraft is number 1, and I'm going to say this particularly because Ulraf, I believe, is one of the developers of Minecraft, or on the team. Minecraft has a lot of accessibility options, and it's really nice when you're chronically ill and having a really bad health day that you can just be like, you know what, actually on my personal server, I'm going to turn it to peaceful for the day because I just don't want to deal with mobs, or I'm going to put it on easy mode or something, or I'm just going to, you know, turn off the day-night cycle because I just don't want to have to worry about it. And there's the fact that you can customize it to in so many ways for so many different experiences or so many different needs is really, really helpful. So as somebody who is chronically ill with 7 different chronic illnesses because my body thinks they're Pokemon and wants to catch them all, it's really nice to be able to. I have spent so much time in Minecraft over the last several years, like probably like 1,000 hours. OMG, did you like that, Moon? My body thinks chronic illnesses are Pokemon and that we gotta catch them all. Yeah, I keep trying to convince it that we don't need to, but so far it hasn't believed me, and it just keeps going on that quest to be the very best. Yeah, when it comes to chronic illness, I like this shot. So, okay, if we're here in this perspective, here, let me even just turn it to F1, right? So for anybody who hasn't played Minecraft much, or even if you've played Minecraft a bunch and you don't know how to get a nice screenshot, if you press F1, it gets rid of all of the user interface stuff. So you just have a screen, and then you can press F2 to get a screenshot, and it saves in your Minecraft screenshots folder. So yeah, there you go. Fun details to Minecraft that you might not have known before. From this angle, I like the similarity of the oxidized copper around us, like this oxidized copper with the oxidized copper up on the ceiling. I like that a lot. So I think we're going to go with the oxidized copper, which I was pretty sure we were going to do anyway. as soon as I started grabbing blocks, I was like, oh, I'll see what the gold looks like, but I think I'm going to go with the oxidized copper. We do need a door. You know, I might make the doorway, I might just double it. I don't have double cyan terracotta, but I almost don't know that we want cyan terracotta on the outside. So this, okay. So, archaeology talk. I mean, when isn't archaeology talk? I don't usually warn you all, so I don't know why I'm warning you just now. When it comes to monuments, especially sacred monuments, there are different things that people do. Hang on, I need some water. An archaeologist biased towards the copper blocks? Impossible. Oh my gosh. Olaf, I love these copper blocks so much. So I have a Discord. Actually, I should say I have a Discord for, no, hang on. I can do this better. I have a Discord for anybody who wants to join. It's just an ArchaeoPlays Discord. Oh, and apparently I have caps lock on. Hang on. There we go. You're welcome to join. It's basically a whole bunch of archaeology chat and a whole bunch of Minecraft chat, and then also other video games and such. And the reason I was bringing that up is because, oh right, okay, it's like I lost my train of thought. Where am I going? The copper, which I know I mentioned in the spawn chunks because I just love it so much. But also in the Discord, I posted a photo of a there's like a silver pot. Well, okay, it's copper it's bronze. Well, copper alloy is basically what we often call things that could be bronze or brass or copper until we've had them chemically tested in archaeology, because you can't actually necessarily tell without chemical testing. So there you go, fun fact of the day, one of them. But the other fun fact of the day is that so I posted a photo of that, and it's silver, but it's been debased with copper alloy, some kind of copper alloy. And debased just means they've like devalue. Oh, thank you so much, Anonymous, for gifting a sub to Ulraf. Thank you so much. Welcome on in. I mean, like, you were already welcome. Both of you were already welcome, but now you're even more welcome. So what was I saying? So the silver thing, it's like a little, it's like a receptacle of some kind. It's silver that's been devalued. That's what debased means. It means basically that they've mixed an easier to find metal with the precious metal so that they can make a bigger object. So basically the object is silver, but it's mostly copper alloy. But the cool thing with the photo that I posted is that because it's copper alloy, it's this color. It's like the color, you guys nailed it. It's the exact right color. And we get that a lot in the UK because we have a lot of copper alloy objects and they're often in the ground, and so and oxidizing over time. When you find them on a site, like you get this flash of this bright green in the middle of all of the dirt color, you know? And in Scotland, a lot of our dirt is like, well, it kind of depends where you are, but a lot of the dirt can be like a well, I shouldn't say irregular, but like a probably more familiar kind of brown dirt. But we also have like an orangey gravel that happens. So when you're digging through that and then all of a sudden there's this pop of green, it's like, it's wild. So I love the copper blocks. A, because I love that they work the way that copper actually does, and B, because every time I look at them, I remember the things that are copper alloy that I have found in the ground in Scotland. So it's really cool. Yeah, the things I have found, I'm realizing I may not have actually told you guys these. So I told you guys about the Iona project, right? I'm pretty sure, because I'm pretty sure I put the link somewhere, and I probably should create a command for that, but I haven't yet. But the Iona project, the Iona research group excavations, we found, while we were digging, we found some clasps from books, like early medieval books. So like 1,000 years ago, basically these little book clasps, and they were this color. And it is just really cool to find those and to just have. Oh, there you go. Stream Elements was gonna mention about the Discord. I just beat it by a few minutes. So yeah, I love this block. I would say at this point it's probably my favorite one in Minecraft. I have a lot of blocks that I like to build with, but as an archaeologist, the copper is my favorite. And I would love it if we could get like the same thing with iron or with glass. I don't know how many of you heard my glass discussion, because I'm a glass specialist. I promise I am also going to the storage unit for like actual blocks. But glass aging would be really cool. Like clear glass or like the white stained glass, if you could set it to turn to magenta and purpley pink, and that would be really cool. But I also know that that's probably super complicated coding wise and not necessarily possible, but it'd be really cool. If Minecraft added a glass decay mechanic, I might die of excitement and happiness and such. Wrong button. But also it would be probably rather complicated, because at the very least you'd have to do it with panes and blocks, and that's a lot, and then different colors, and yeah. So, but if it happened, my goodness, I would be so excited. I already don't really stop talking about glass, and so you've seen how happy I am about the copper blocks. Imagine if glass did that. Anyway, okay, I'm gonna stop. I was thinking calcite might be nice on the copper is your favorite, though not for archaeology reasons originally. It is also a very pretty color. I mean, like all of the copper blocks, I like the variation, and it's tones of colors that we don't get terribly often, like next to each other in Minecraft. So the kind of orangey, well, the copper color, and then the kind of turquoisey green color, you don't get them in many blocks. So it's, yeah, I just enjoy the color combination. And then I found out that they work the way that copper alloy does in reality. I was like, okay, all right. You've won me over. I like this block. I'm thinking calcite might be cool. I promise we'll get back to building. Okay, I was thinking calcite might be cool, but now that I'm seeing it from the side, I'm not super sure. That's kind of... yeah, I'm not a fan of that. Is there another drowned? Oh, there's one way down there, but that's fine. I wonder if What did I just do? Oh, okay. Hang on. Let me do this. We'll do this. I'm thinking the polished andesite might be better for the outside andesite blocks. But then I'm not sure that I necessarily want something on top of them. But I also don't want the cyan to be exposed to the outside. So maybe like a stair block. Ooh, maybe like a dark oak stair facing into the wall. You really love the decaying part, to be honest. You love how it shows the time passing and it's pretty. Yeah, it's such a good block. Copper is such a good block. Blue greens are your favorite color. Oh yeah, blue greens are great. I say this having all my armor on, but yeah, you could say I like blue greens. They're nice colors. I like them a lot. I forgot that I was an F5. What am I thinking? Okay, I'm thinking before I completely forget what I'm doing again. Before chronic illness strikes again. Let's go do this. Because I think... Alright. I was like, it's not nighttime already again, is it? The one thing in Minecraft that always gets me is like, what do you mean it's nighttime already? I'm wondering if this... And I might angle it differently. I might angle it into this block. But... I like the possibility that in my head this works. Of course, in my head the calcite also worked, but I do like that contrast. What if we put one up there, or is that gonna look too weird? It's probably gonna look a little weird. Oh, and we also no. This is why I play with keep inventory on. because I'm not bad at Minecraft, but I am clumsy at Minecraft. I am so clumsy at Minecraft. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure that that's gonna look the way I want it to. Yeah, that's a little weird. Okay, let's take the top one off. This is the other thing. If you're new to building in Minecraft, a certain amount of it is trying stuff, seeing how that looks, and then deciding whether you like it, and then trying stuff again, trying something else, and then seeing whether you like it. I do feel like there needs to be something here, but maybe like we could do a slab. But the thing about slabs is that there's not much color variation in a lot of this. Well, okay, there is a lot of color variation in slabs, but not necessarily in these colors. Like, I could do a gray slab. And that might be fine, actually. Let's try... Oh. I'm gonna try an andesite slab first. Because maybe it's just... Maybe it just needs to be a little bit higher to look okay. And I know it's nighttime. We'll get there. I'm working on it. No, not feeling that. I'll take it out in a minute. Let's sleep. let's keep my base from getting blown up. Sorry, just had to take a drink of water. My throat has been, not my throat, but like my mouth has been very dry over the last part of the chronic illness stuff is that I have to take a certain number of painkillers, but they dehydrate me like really bad. So I have to keep an eye on those things. Maybe like a trap door on the top. Maybe I'm just wanting something there that can't necessarily go there. could also try like a fence post on top, but I don't think that that's what I'm after. I think that's going to be too chunky. But I'll try it. I'm not gonna, since we're testing things, I'm not gonna unname Animal Pen 1 fences just to test things. Actually, if we're testing things, let's use warped fences. I was also thinking trapdoor. Let's try a spruce trapdoor. Try this as well. The medication dehydration thing really well. Yeah, it's frustrating. because it's like, oh gosh, in order, and the other thing that's frustrating about a lot of like painkillers, so a lot of the illnesses I have cause enormous amounts of pain, which is why on Thursday I was just like, no. I'm sorry guys, I need to cancel. No, that looks too, it looks too similar? Too uniform? I don't know. Oh! Hello! I mean, that's one way to make an entrance. But the other thing about a lot of painkiller medications is that they require you to take them with food or like around the time that you've eaten, because if you take them on an empty stomach, they could cause a lot of damage to your stomach, which is great when you're not feeling super well and you have to eat things in order to take painkillers. It's so much fun. These are adorable. I don't have that many emeralds. Do I want... I can't get some of these. Oh, there's some little coral blocks, but I don't want to break my coral. Also, this is something I don't know. Do the mini frog lights, do those glow as well? Because my guess is that they don't, but it would be cool if they did. But I'm assuming since player heads don't glow, and these are they're player heads, I'm assuming that they don't. But it would be cool. Yeah, so if anybody is looking at Vanilla Tweaks, this is a data pack on Vanilla Tweaks where you can basically get little mini blocks of the different blocks from a wandering trader, and they only have so many on offer, and you have to pay an emerald plus one of the actual blocks in order to get them, but they're really nice for decorating. And it is still technically vanilla Minecraft, it's just it's basically retexturing some player heads and giving them slightly different, well, it's retexturing player heads. That's the simplest way of describing it. You know, sir, I think I'm okay. I don't think I have the ones that I would want. I don't have the big versions of. So I'm gonna leave it, I think. But they are cute, and if you want them, it's that same website that I had done before, that's Vanilla Tweaks. In fact, I can probably put it back in the thing. That'll take you to the resource packs, but there's a menu up at the top, and if you click on data packs, and then it's, what is it? It's like player heads, more player heads, mini blocks, that kind of stuff in that menu. I forget the exact name of it, but that's what it is. Oh, let's I was clicking back into the screen and almost hit him. Let's not do that. Let's not accidentally hurt somebody who is a long distance trader. I also should say I'm a glass specialist, but I also specialize in long distance trade in archaeology, and so the wandering traders, I've always enjoyed them because they're the only entity in Minecraft that theoretically travels long distances with items for trade. They are long distance traders, and it's kind of great. So yeah, another idea I had for like a server, if I wanted to base it on archaeology or to do something interesting on archaeology, would be to be a nomadic entity and to have items for trade, but to not have a permanent base location and to just be traveling around. Maybe with llamas, maybe with, I don't know, some kind of redstone vehicle if I could figure one out. That sort of thing. I think it would be really fun to do. But anyway, I was figuring out this doorway. Let's remember the doorway, especially because we're getting towards the time when stream is going to end soonish. We're not going to do it. We're not going to end before we've figured this out. I'm pretty sure that's just gonna look too weird. Even if they glow, they aren't light sources. Yeah. You've done that and traveled more than 1 million blocks in a world once. Wow, that sounds really cool, Moon. I haven't tried it yet. Oops. No, that looks weird. Although, that looks weird, and now I'm wondering if, like, a lightning rod would look cool there. Also, if lightning rods could oxidize the same way that copper does, that'd be cool. That'd be fun. I think, was it B-Dubs who posted that a couple weeks ago? I think that would be cool. They'd be fun to use. No, I'm not a fan of that. I'm more a fan of the fence than I am of the trapdoor, I think. But I'm not that big a fan of the fence. But I do think a lightning rod there. The lightning rod might look really cool. 3114, your village didn't have any farmers, so you'd always travel to the village to the north with your donkey so that you could trade your crops. Yes, so that's something that I do in my Archaeologist Guide series on YouTube, which I've started a new episode for, and then I got super ill, so I haven't made much progress on it since. But I'm gonna try making a lightning rod and seeing what happens. But the idea there is that, you know, when it comes to villages, and I'm gonna do the same thing here actually, that when it comes to villages, I'm gonna accept whatever professions the villagers have, rather than trying to, you know, breed villagers and have a villager farm or anything. I'm just gonna... Oh, I love how I climbed up there to put the lightning rod up, and I didn't put the lightning rod up, and then I jumped in, and yeah. But yeah, so basically treating the villages as their own entity, and kind of seeing how that affects... Okay, that doesn't look as good as I thought it might. I don't really know what I'm looking for in that top block. I'm not entirely sure it's possible. It might be one of those things where I'm just trying to figure out something that I like better than it being blank, and I don't know if that's necessarily possible in Minecraft. More uses for copper would be awesome too. Copper pipes, copper wire, yeah. You saw it and it looks so cool. That's great, yeah. Maybe I do just leave it blank. Or, ooh, okay, here's an alternative. Okay, I've got two thoughts. One is, can't do andesite buttons. That would be nice. It's always something that I think of when I go to do buttons. I'm like, oh, this would be cool. Except it doesn't exist. Or like if you could do an oxidized copper button. I'm saying all these things. I mean, I'm very much a builder, and so so more blocks. I am always happy with more blocks. Okay, that actually looks kind of cool from an angle. Maybe not that particular color. What about I don't know, let's go with dark oak. Or we could go with warped wood, but let's go with dark oak for now, because that's what I have in my inventory. And I'll find a use for buttons somewhere. They'll get used. No. Not quite. Not doing it for me. Okay. What about a dark oak fence? Okay, okay, hang on. I feel like I've now spent like half an hour kind of noodling through the single block there. Come on, it's dark. A wandering trader visiting the cake shrine makes a lot of sense. Agreed. Absolutely agreed. I mean, the cake shrine is so popular, even the drowned are trying to visit it. So, and I should say, I don't know if Ulraf is still in chat, but have we shown you the cake roulette situation in the cake shrine? Because or is there might be. We'll demonstrate it in a second. Let me try this. I'm realizing there might be people who are watching who don't exactly know what's going on with the cake shrine. I mean, it's a cake shrine, so it is just kind of ridiculous by itself. But there's a bit of a roulette system. Is this what I'm trying to do? How do we... No, I'm looking for stone. Is it this and then... Or is it... Hang on. I want chiseled stone, but I don't want to... Okay, all right. Do I have any of that? No. Okay. So, this, do this, we do this, this, and we do this. This is my thought. Okay, hang on. We're gonna... It's fine. We're gonna... It's all good. It's all fine. Everything is fine. We're gonna put the stairs. We're gonna... I don't know. That's close enough. So my two thoughts. One thought is dark oak. That's just how building is sometimes. Yeah, taking like half an hour to be like, this one block. There's a point at which I need to accept that it is what it is. That kinda works. I feel like that works the best out of the things we've seen so far. My other thought was taking this out and instead doing this. Which we can leave with the fence post, or we can actually take the fence post away. Ooh. I think I like that. Which I know is ridiculous, because we've just spent like half an hour putting stuff on top of that block. And it was the block that I wanted to change this whole time, I guess. But I feel like that works the best. I like the fact that it's relatively unassuming as an entryway. And then there's cake roulette. The cake shrine celebrates me achieving affiliate. Yeah, giving you cake or rockets, guarded by tropical fish, so cake thieves beware, or something like that. Exactly. So yeah, I should empty my inventory though before we demonstrate the cake shrine. And I should also get a doorway. So I think I'm gonna go with a warped door for this. Just because I think that'll look the nicest. Let's do this and this. We're gonna put a button. I know it's not where the spruce is, but there are a lot of wood types now, so it's not exactly gonna be where that is. I don't know. I'll put a button there. Let's do this and then oh no. That diorite. That's close enough. All right. So, we don't need huge amounts of inventory space to deal with. Not to deal with, to see. Oh, I was gonna get a doorway. A door, not a doorway. I need a door. I meant to make a door. Okay, I promise. We're gonna do cake roulette. We're gonna finish off the stream with cake roulette. Planks? No. Okay. All right. I realize I've been jumping this entire time, and that's like the one time I haven't jumped. Now, do I put this on the inside? Like, I could put it there. Yeah, I like that. I like the kind of inner recesses. Although probably what we want to do, although that's going to require stone, is another pressure plate. The This is where my lack of knowledge of Minecraft comes through. If I put a pressure plate here, then it's just the pressure plate that holds the door open, right? Like if I snag, okay, this is gonna be silly, but let's just do this for a second. And actually, let's do this, this and this. Yeah, I'll do that in a minute. If I make a stone pressure plate, it doesn't. Oh, fireworks and cake. All right. It looks very cool. Thank you. Yeah, I like it a lot. I do need to wax the copper in here. For anybody who has witnessed the building of this shrine, here, let me actually also switch back to the actual vanilla textures, because I do like playing in those mostly. Okay, so, the idea behind the shrine, the cake shrine, is because I reached affiliate status a couple weeks ago. The same week that the Spawn Chunks podcast episode came out, actually, it was literally the next day. So I decided to build a little shrine. Well, initially I was like, we should celebrate, and so I'll make a cake. And then I was like, what else do I do? And I thought it would be cool to make a little shrine that specifically doesn't change. The rest of the base is going to be changing all over the place. And we're going to be kind of, the whole point of this, of at least my sort of series on this server, is to be tracking where different blocks end up. So we can start seeing, oh man, there was actually a block from the original starter house that ends up in building number 25 or something. But in order to, well, I mean, number one, that's a fun concept anyway. But number two, there ends up being the question of, what about having something to compare it to? So like a space that never changes. So the idea for this cake shrine is that now that it's built, this cake shrine is never going to change. We do need to put the fish in. Oh my gosh, you guys, I almost forgot about the fish security detail. We'll do that. We'll finish the stream with that instead of cake roulette. I'll put the cake back though. So the idea behind this shrine is that now that it's built, this isn't going to be changed, aside from me waxing these copper blocks so that they're still cake colors, because it's deeply silly and I enjoy it. And we'll see as the rest of this base progresses and changes and morphs over time, and new buildings appear or disappear, old buildings disappear, that kind of thing. This little shrine will stay here and stay the way that we've built it today. Well, today and last Tuesday, because it's been built over 2 streams. The only other thing that I'm realizing is that you come into the cake stream, cake shrine, and if you want to get out, you have to play roulette again. So it's double roulette unless you stay standing on the pressure plate. Oh, I mean, I'll take the free lead, but what did you do to your? Did your llama perish? Oh no, okay, you just walked too far away. You're about to say, wow, the trader on the stream is quite loud. He actually spawned next to you in your game. Well, the trader on the stream is also semi-loud, but yes, I think that's probably your game too. I now have so many leads, and I have not killed any of the wandering traders for their leads. So it's a lot of leads. There are a lot of leads. I know I only have 1 in that box, but I have like 4 elsewhere. Oh gosh, and the sun is going down. Okay, well, it's fine. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. Whee! I don't want to do cake roulette just to let some fish in, so let's do this. Okay. The only downside is, okay. I did get rid of the trapdoors that I had. And actually, I think the trapdoors would help so that I can escape. Actually, I'll just use a regular door so that I can escape without accidentally letting the fish out. Let's just sleep before we do this. I know I'm gonna. This is my spam clicking the bed to fall asleep, but it's easier. I don't want a creeper. I don't want creepers. I don't want creepers blowing things up. Okay. Let's get these fish. I mean, we can't have a fish security detail stream without getting the fish into the security detail. So, let's do this. Yeah. Okay. Will fish swim through a door? This is a question that I have that I never thought I would have to ask. Here we go. I'll do the pufferfish last, only because I think they are going to, I think they're gonna, well, they're potentially gonna injure me, so I'll do them last. I don't think any of them have swum out yet. So that's cool. I don't know if they specifically avoid it, so it might just be that I'm getting lucky, but who knows? Not sure. Since it's not waterlogged, you'd say no. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, is that because it's not waterlogged, they wouldn't go into the doorway. But also, fish fall out of waterfalls a lot, so... But fish generally, like, they're not like... They don't jump out of ponds or anything. So I would imagine, yeah, they're probably... Okay, now. The big guns. The pufferfish. Okay, there's 1. There's 2. There's 3. 4. 5, and 6. All 6 pufferfish. Okay. If I do this, and then I do this. Oh, look at that. Okay. I mean, we're gonna be playing cake roulette again. Hey, fireworks. But now we have a whole bunch of fish that are all down in this corner. Oh no, okay. Now some of the pufferfish are moving. I am realizing that these tropical fish might despawn because I haven't named them at all. The same with the pufferfish. So I might have to go name them. But they'll be safe for at least a little while I'm still here. I think they'll be okay. And I'll pick them back up. Fish from bucket don't despawn. Oh, thank you so much, Ulraf. That's helpful. Very helpful to have somebody who's very familiar with the game in chat. Okay, cool. Good to know. Good to know. Goes to show you how many times I've used fish in a bucket. Well, cool. We have our cake shrine. And we have our security detail, and we have our rockets to the face. I've used so many rockets, I'm gonna need to replace them soon. Just gonna check the wiki about that. Yeah, as soon as I placed all of them, and then I, like, put the stone in place, and I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute, have I made a mistake? Yeah, this is great. Here, let's just quickly do this. Yeah, I like this. Also, okay, I just had an idea. Here, let me take my armor off so you can actually see me. I just had an idea. If eventually, when I find a Lays, they could live in the cake shrine. They could be added to the cake shrine security detail. This is the game's way of saying me and the fish are officially friends now. Yes, I love it. Oh, I'll be friends with the pufferfish, even if they're not so sure about being friends with me. And the tropical fish. I was saying, I don't know if you were here earlier, Ulraf, when we were getting the tropical fish, but I love the different types of tropical fish, and I never realized that they actually say it. Like, when you've got them in the bucket, it says which kind of tropical fish it is, which is really cool. So yeah, the more you know about Minecraft fish, they're pretty cool. Yeah, I feel like like 1 or 2 allays in here would just be super fun. I mean, they wouldn't do much in terms of security detail. It would more be like when the and hopefully they wouldn't get hit by the rockets. That would be a thing we'd have to investigate, of whether they would get hit by the rockets. Cake allays. Yeah, but they would, like, the cake, if you missed the cake, they would deliver it to you, maybe. I suppose they would only deliver it to me. Probably. But either way, it would be like cake delivery system, and I like the thought of like an allay or 2 kind of floating around in here, guarding the cake with the pufferfish and the tropical fish and such. They would steal cakes from others and give it to me. Even better, Moon. I mean, not technically, not really. I'm not gonna steal all of everybody's cakes, I promise. But yeah, they can be the attendants who keep it sparkly. Absolutely. I enjoy the idea that they would steal everybody else's cakes and give them to me. I just have this image of like walking into this shrine, getting a firework set off, and then like 3 allays just dropping cake at me. And this is how, if you've ever wondered how like sacred things happen, okay, like actually sacred things, there's a difference, right? We're respectful of actual sacred practices of other people, just to be clear. But if you've ever wondered how traditions get started, this is one of the ways that traditions get started. Of like cake shrine, simple cake to celebrate affiliate status turns into a shrine guarded by pufferfish and tropical fish that eventually has allays steal cake from you to give it to me, and also comes with cake roulette. With a little redstone, that could be a thing. Exactly. That's what's great about it. So yeah, there we go. But if you can imagine, so here's the other thing though, because if we're gonna talk archaeology, because that's what I do, let's talk archaeology, because that's what I do. We're gonna keep this the same throughout the entire series, which I have no, or season, I have no idea when this, I mean, like, I don't have plans for when this will end or anything, so it's gonna be a while, right? We gotta get to the really cool bird that I have planned. So it's gonna be a while. But if an archaeologist were to come across this in, like, if this were in the real world, 2,000 years in the future, archaeologists come across the remains of this place. Hopefully you can see how it's almost certainly not gonna be, like, the archaeologist is probably not gonna figure out what's going on here, right? Because for starters, the tropical fish and the pufferfish are not going to be there anymore. The water might not even be there anymore. The coral may well have died. The glass will be cracked. All of this will be crumbled. This will have oxidized, but the rest of this is already oxidized. So actually, the copper alloy, in 2,000 years, if it's already oxidized copper and it's exposed to the air, it might just disintegrate and break and just be gone entirely, or like be a shell of what it used to be, right? A lot of the stone would survive. We get a lot of stone surviving in archaeology. The cake would be gone. The cake would, and the cake's in here. So the archaeologist, unless, okay, but there is a way for the archaeologist to know that there was cake here. You can do residue analysis on containers in archaeology, or surfaces to a degree. Like if something has sat somewhere for a really long time, like this cake has, we could do residue analysis kind of on the stone here. It's harder to do on stone. Like, generally we do it with ceramics because the residues of whatever's in the ceramic kind of seeps into the pottery, and then you can do residue analysis from there. But there's a chance that somebody would be able to get something off of the stone here, or something off of the inside of the dispenser, because the inside of the dispenser is protected. So actually that's your best bet to try and get any evidence for the cake being here. But otherwise, the archaeologist is coming in here, seeing this decoration maybe, if it happens to still be there. And that's the only hint they get about what the purpose of this shrine is. You know, plus like a small pool of weirdly tropical fish. And that's all. So that's why there's so many times where archaeologists are like, we think that this is what happened, but we're not entirely sure, because we end up with like, it's like the hardest puzzle you've ever done where 2/3 of the pieces are missing, right? It's hard. It's hard to figure out and hard to do. Oh, thank you, whoever that was, for sleeping. But yeah, so anyway, there's more archaeology chat for the day. I am going to... Oh, did I put my sticks away somewhere? I'm gonna put some torches on the outside, and then I think we're gonna call it there for the stream. And I'll figure out somebody to raid probably. There are my sticks. Hang on, people have been chatting and I've been ignoring them by talking about archaeology. Allays have 10 hearts and regen, so you think they'd be safe when it comes to fireworks. Yeah, that's true. I forgot they had regen. You have made a cake and cookie dispenser. Oh! Moon has questions. You already wanted to ask the last time but forgot. Do we know when people started using some sort of fireworks? Oh! That is a really interesting question. You know what? Let me, okay. I feel like we can figure this out. I don't know the exact answer. My guess would be around... So we know that, China had a lot of, well, what is now China, and sort of ancient, what we often call ancient China, had a lot of things to do with gunpowder. And that, I'm guessing, would serve as, like, the main... What am I saying? The main point where people started using fireworks, I guess. But, ooh, actually, I think I like it. No. But I think what we'll do is I will actually look it up and we'll find out. And I can show you a little bit of some of... I mean, I know that this means stream is going extra long today, but... It's a good question. And so just for people who aren't aware, the question redemption, basically that is, you can ask any archaeology-based question, and either, if I know the answer already, I will tell you on the spot, or if I don't know the answer, then if I think we can figure it out pretty quickly, I will look it up on the spot. If I don't know if we can find it pretty quickly, then I will go and figure out the answer and come back to you with it. So basically, it guarantees you an answer to an archaeology question. They developed gunpowder for medical reasons. That I don't know, but it sounds... That's ringing bells in my mind. My guess is China, but it would be really cool to... And don't feel bad at all, Moon. It's a redemption. You're allowed to use a redemption. It's okay. And it's an excellent question. So, what we'll do is we will... I'll sign off of this, and then I'll open up a new window, and I'll show you guys one of the things that I do for archaeological research, because I think that's actually really useful, particularly for any of you who are potentially still in college or school or anything like that. So I can show you some of the ways that archaeologists use the internet for research, which doesn't sound, it might not sound that interesting, but it is actually, I think it's interesting. So, so we'll do that. So, yeah, I will sign off from here in a safe place, and then I'll open up a window, and yeah, I'll keep, the screen will go black for a second. I'm just setting up a window, so I'll keep talking to you all. Don't worry, it's the stream won't have crashed. I'm just gonna disconnect from here. and I'm gonna close out of Minecraft, and then I'm going to open a new window. Hang on. Then gonna do this. Is it that? No, hang on. Wait. There we go. Let's do internet. I have to name it. There we go. Okay. This. There we go. And then we're gonna move that so that you can actually see everything else in the, hang on. I'm gonna try to move that so that you can see everything else. Hang on. The list is large. There we go. Okay, so archaeological research stuff. Ooh, I'm realizing that this is, I'm gonna turn off the latest follower and latest sub for just a second so that you can see what I do here, okay? But I will turn them back on, I promise. Okay, so when I have a question like this is a really good question, Moon, of when did people start using gunpowder for, well, when did people start using fireworks, which I think is connected to the development of gunpowder, but I could very easily be wrong. So what I do, the first thing I do, believe it or not, okay, you all know how to do this. I do fireworks. Okay, all right. If that doesn't get me a Wikipedia page, I go fireworks, Wikipedia. I go to Wikipedia, and a lot of you might feel like that's very different advice than you've been given, particularly if you've been in school or college recently, or university. You may have been told never ever go to Wikipedia. I take issue with that. Absolutely go to Wikipedia. However, you have to be able to figure out what on Wikipedia is necessarily a good resource and what isn't a good resource. So, a couple of things. Hang on, let me get some water. So, when we're looking at fireworks, can you guys kind of see that? I don't know if you can. Let me maybe zoom in a little bit. There we go. Okay, so we have this first sentence. Fireworks are a class of low-explosive pyrotechnic devices used for aesthetic and entertainment purposes. Okay, this doesn't have a citation. So you'll see, hang on, like down here, we've got citations here. This first sentence, in fact, the entire first paragraph, doesn't have citations. And the reason for that is because it's something called common knowledge. So you don't have to cite it. So if you're writing a paper, right, and it's like, you have to give a definition of what this thing is, and the thing is fireworks, right? You can provide, don't copy it word for word, okay? But if you summarize what is in this paragraph, you don't need to cite Wikipedia as a source because it's the same as consulting an encyclopedia or a dictionary. Unless you are specifically talking about like the definition, the specific definition and differences between different dictionaries about what the definition is or something, you don't have to worry about citing dictionaries or encyclopedias. Or like if you happen to be using a thesaurus or something, like any of those reference books, you don't need to cite, okay? If you're writing an essay. And so because you're looking at Wikipedia, you also don't need to worry about, Wikipedia doesn't need to have citations for that either, okay? Because they're getting this from an encyclopedia. However, as soon as they start saying something, right? This is talking about silent fireworks displays becoming popular. Here, we're down here. Due to concerns that noise effects traumatize pets, wildlife, and some humans. And silent fireworks displays, here's this sentence here, silent firework displays refers to displays that exclude large, spectacular, noisy fireworks and make greater use of smaller, quieter devices. Now that's a new thing that they've brought in to the discussion of fireworks, so it's not common knowledge yet. So that's why they have a citation. Now this is not the greatest of citations. Okay. I mean, I guess we'll consent. It's not the greatest of citations, but it takes you to a Snopes article. Now, this is kind of okay. I wouldn't cite it in an essay personally, if that's the source. Not super sure. But here, the Italian town of Collecchio, I'm very sorry if I mispronounced that, switched to silent fireworks in 2015. And we have a cited source here. And it's a person writing about why that Italian town is switching to silent fireworks. Okay? Yeah, silent fireworks. Interesting. I didn't know they existed either, Lazagod. So with these citations, if there is something that you are curious about and you are looking for some sources, Wikipedia is excellent unless they're saying something that doesn't feel like common knowledge, like you would find it in an encyclopedia, and they don't have a citation next to it. That's when you can't necessarily assume that Wikipedia is correct. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that people are recognizing the problems with firework noise too. But if they have a citation, then you might be good. The thing to do is to then follow that citation and see who wrote that piece. So this is a piece from Lonely Planet. If we were writing an essay about this, we would go and look at what Andrea Smith had written about this and whether that's a source that we could use, basically. If it turns out that it's, say, like a blog post that somebody wrote for funsies and they don't have their sources cited, or maybe it doesn't seem like they, if Andrea Smith didn't interview anybody in this Italian town, that would be a little bit sus, right? So we maybe don't want to use that in our essay if we wanted to. But my guess is if it's with Lonely Planet, it's probably a good source to be using. So we're going to go down to history because, oh, look at this! Earliest firework came from China, so I was right about that bit. During the Song Dynasty from 960 to 1279 CE or AD. So in archaeology, we often use BCE or CE because rather than BC and AD, largely because BC and AD are connected to Christianity. And so if you are studying a peoples who are not Christian, then using BC and AD isn't necessarily, like, it's not a system they would have used, and it's not a system that their descendants necessarily use, so we tend to go with BCE and CE a lot of the time. However, because BC and AD are really well known in popular media, if we're talking to the general public, we often will use BC or AD, so you'll see archaeologists kind of jump between the two systems. But that's what this is. 960 to 1279, that's in AD. Okay, and this is by Jacques Garnet, I'm gonna say. Daily Life in China on the Eve of the Mongol Invasion, translated by H.M. Wright. So this is an older source, 1962. Generally, if you're writing like an essay, if you're writing an undergraduate essay, it's probably okay if you're like in your first or second year of your bachelor's degree. But if you're in higher years, you're going to want to have sources that are a little bit closer to present day. So people writing about this a little bit closer to present day, unless all of them just cite Jacques Garnet, right? But this source, translated by H.M. Wright, and it's published by Stanford University Press. So if a book is published by a university press, that generally means it's a good source to use. So we can trust this information. So earliest fireworks from China during the Song Dynasty, which was an imperial dynasty of China that began in 960 and lasted till 1279, which we got from the parentheses already. And the dynasty was founded by Emperor Taizu of Song following his usurpation of the throne of the later Zhou. I'm very sorry if I'm butchering the Chinese pronunciation. In fact, I'm almost positive that I am. And then the song, it talks about the Song conquering the rest of the 10 kingdoms. And basically, when I start to get into something like this, if I had to write, say, like a paragraph or a couple paragraphs on the origins of fireworks, I would then go into a bit of a Wikipedia wormhole, okay? So, like, I would just open the Song Dynasty in a new tab and then just have the bit about the Song Dynasty. So it's divided into two periods, Northern Song and Southern Song. So I'm assuming, yeah, the Northern Song, the capital was in the northern city, and then the dynasty controlled most of what is now Eastern China. The Southern Song refers to the period after they lost control of the northern half, and therefore they controlled the southern half, you know? So so there's, yeah, you can kind of go into those dives. Now the interesting thing, so we have the earliest fireworks from China. Question then becomes, when were fireworks used by people kind of like habitually, or like when did the average person get a hold of fireworks? And this is something that we always have to keep in mind with archaeology. When we talk about things like the Bronze Age, for example, we're not necessarily talking about the first time that a society uses bronze. We're talking about when bronze became habitually used by a society. And habitually just means like used over and over again. Like they used it a lot. So like habitually used, like your clothing, you habitually use your clothing because you use your clothing all the time, you know, and different pieces of clothing multiple times throughout the week or the month or whatever. So yeah, habitual just means something. It's like a habit. That's where habitual comes from. So yeah, it's habitual. It's just something that's a habit. The artwork does look cool. It's an illustration of a fireworks display from the 1628 to 1643 edition of the Ming Dynasty novel Jinping Mei. So this is also cool. So this is an illustration that was created in the 17th century. And it's just a scanned copy. And actually here, let's zoom out a little bit on this so that we can fit it all on the screen. But this is a fireworks display. So this tells us not only about the fireworks, where they have like this tree that they've got the fireworks on and they set them off and that creates the colors. So in a sense, it's kind of like firecrackers or like the small firework kits that you can get in some places. Oh, yes, thank you, Dragon. Everybody stretch. If you've been sitting in the same position, or even if you haven't, your body probably could use a stretch, and honestly, it feels so good, so like just go for a stretch. Stretches are so nice. Thank you, Dragon. I always forget to stretch when I'm sitting in my computer chair, so it's nice to have a reminder. But yeah, so this illustration tells us that they have like this tree that they mount the fireworks to and then light them off, and that's part of the display. But we can also start talking a little bit about the types of clothing that people are wearing or the types of buildings that they have. Like this looks like a little awning where a lot of women seem to be, maybe, or I mean, I'm making that assumption. People with longer robes. I shouldn't make the assumption on their gender. But there are a certain number of people who are hanging out down here with some kind of covering, and then there are people who are not under this awning or covering or small sheltered area. And so the question then becomes, why are some people under this and not everybody? Is there a difference between them? So you can see how like a single image can generate so many questions about who people are and what they're doing and where they come from. So that's why, even though in archaeology we do have a lot that we have found in archaeology, but it's also kind of limited in what we've found. But despite all of that, we still have so many questions. You think the characters say something about before a gate? Oh, really? That's cool. I don't read Chinese. I'm assuming this is either Mandarin or an earlier form of it, but I don't read that. I don't read that. So that's really cool. That's cool that you can read that. That's very cool. So anyway, yeah, so that's the fireworks. Oh, colored fireworks. Hang on, wait a minute. During the Han Dynasty, alright, even earlier, people threw bamboo stems into a fire to produce an explosion with a loud sound. Okay, so the earliest fireworks are Song Dynasty China, but almost a millennium earlier, actually more than a millennium earlier, we have people throwing bamboo stems into a fire to produce an explosion with a loud sound. Ulraf, if you are still around, can you imagine throwing bamboo into a campfire in Minecraft and having it do a little bit of a spark, like a firework, like a sparkler kind of situation? That'd be really cool. Also probably difficult to code, so like don't worry about it at all. But how cool is that? Yeah, it all started with bamboo. In later times, gunpowder packed into small containers was used to mimic the sounds of burning bamboo. Wow, okay, so the entire reason they were creating fireworks was to mimic the sound of this bamboo that they would put into the fire. So that's where the idea came from, is the bamboo in the fire making this explosion noise. How cool is that? Where is this? Yeah, okay. This is, Cambridge University Press, Science and Civilization in China, Volume 5, Chemistry and Chemical Technology. So this is going to be one of those big, like, anthology texts, or a text that summarizes a lot of the research in a region over a long period of time, which are really useful to have in, like, history and archaeology and such, because they put a lot of information in one place. But yeah, someone was playing with fire and bam, boom. Oh no, Clara. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so that's cool. Exploding bamboo stems and gunpowder firecrackers were interchangeably known as these terms, which I'm not even going to try to say because I will butcher them. It was during the Song Dynasty that people manufactured the first firecrackers, comprising tubes made from rolled sheets of paper containing gunpowder and a fuse. Okay, so it seems like they didn't have the fuse before the Song Dynasty. They also strung these firecrackers together in large clusters, known as what's literally translated as a whip or a whip cannon, so the firecrackers could be set off one by one in close sequence. And that's another discussion of fireworks. By the 12th and possibly 11th century, this term was used to specifically refer to gunpowder firecrackers. Okay, that's really cool. And also, here we go. Here's that answer to when regular people could get a hold of fireworks or firecrackers. During the Song Dynasty, many of the common people could purchase various kinds of fireworks from market vendors. Let's see what that source is. Yep, that's the Daily Life in China one that we've already seen. Grand displays of fireworks were also known to be held. So if I were then writing an essay on this, just as an FYI, I wouldn't sit here and cite Wikipedia as a source, because that's unless I can't find the information anywhere else. So I did I cite Wikipedia in my PhD? I either cited Wikipedia or I cited something very close to it, because in my PhD I was talking about the physics of light and how light interacts with things, and trying to find a source that just explains that really clearly and succinctly and without like dozens of chapters on it is actually kind of difficult, or at least it was at the time. So it is possible to do, but I would say if you're writing an essay, or if you have to, rather than cite the Wikipedia, go to these sources, right? And don't just cite them because you've read the thing on Wikipedia, you write this and then you cite this source. That's not going to cut it, because sometimes people cite things incorrectly or they misunderstand sources. So you have to go to this source, to page 186, and then see what Jacques Garnet says about this, and then you can cite Jacques Garnet's work. But yeah. So, grand displays of fireworks were also known to be held. In 1110, a large firework display in a martial demonstration was held to entertain Emperor... Oh gosh, if I say that name, I'm gonna butcher it, and I don't want to say something that's offensive accidentally. But to entertain the Emperor and his court, a record from 1264 talks about a rocket-propelled firework that went off near the Empress Dowager and startled her during a feast held in her honor by her son. Rocket propulsion was common in warfare in the 14th century, okay? And then, in 1240, the Arabs acquired knowledge. So this is... Right. This phrasing is not great. The Arabs, I wouldn't say the Arabs. I might say Arab groups. Unless there's a specific singular group at this time that are known as the Arabs, I wouldn't use this phrasing. That's not very, very good. But also, acquired knowledge of gunpowder. It sounds like, it makes it sound like the Arabs they're referring to are less intelligent than the Chinese who created fireworks. And so that's really not something we like doing in archaeology. Different groups, just because a group hasn't encountered a technology yet or hasn't created a technology, doesn't mean that they're, not smart enough to create it. It just means that they haven't done it yet. They haven't had a need to do it. So yeah, I would change the phrasing of this. But anyway, and its uses from China. Okay, the other thing here is that there's no citation. A Syrian named Hassan al-Ramah wrote of rockets, fireworks, and other incendiaries using terms that suggested he derived his knowledge from Chinese sources, such as his references to fireworks as Chinese flowers. Yes and no. I'd have to look at these sources, basically, because if he talks to just talking about fireworks as Chinese flowers, for example, that doesn't necessarily mean that he got his information from China or from Chinese people. It means that whoever he got his information from, like, it does mean that there's a connection to the Chinese technology, but whether it's a direct connection, like he got it from a Chinese person, or it's he got it from someone who got it from someone who got it, like, who learned it from, like, learned it from somebody who learned it from somebody who learned it from somebody who eventually had learned it from someone in China. We can't tell based on just this information. So I would have to look at the evidence that these books are saying. So that's something where I'm like, okay, I trust that this Syrian wrote about this, but I'd have to see what exactly he said to suggest that all of his knowledge came from Chinese sources, and that his knowledge was all of the knowledge that this Arab group had of fireworks. Slightly related fun fact, Hanabi is the Japanese word for firework, and it translates to fire flower. Yeah, so I wonder if that is, if that's similar with maybe the Chinese term for fireworks, if they also call it fire flower. That would be an interesting question. Anyway, the reason I'm going this far in depth is because I had checked this, this had caught my eye as I switched back to this page, which is that colored fireworks were developed from earlier, possibly Han Dynasty or sooner, or soon thereafter, earlier Chinese application of chemical substances to create colored smoke and fire. So it looks like 14th century, which describes recipes, several of which used low nitrate, gunpowder, and such military signal smokes. So that's the other. So basically, it comes from. It seems like fireworks, and colored fireworks in particular, come from the combination of burning bamboo explosions and the creation of colored smoke and fire for use in military signal smokes, potentially. Although this is, if a preface of 1621, printed 1628, this is significantly later. But I could see both of those things playing into fireworks. So anyway, that was a very in-depth answer to our firework question, but it also kind of gets a sense of what the characters for Hanabi the other way around, Hibana, and it means spark. Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. Yeah, so there you go. That's how I tend to research things. And then, I like going into sort of Wikipedia spirals, or I sometimes call them Wikipedia black holes, not in a negative way though. Because there's so many tags, and you can then be like, oh, what is the Great Khan? Like, I kind of have a sense of what this is, but what did it actually specifically mean? And then you can just new tab and new tab and new tab. So when I do the research that I do for Carved in Stone, which is a that tabletop role-playing game that I mentioned in the Spawn Chunks podcast, and I think I've mentioned it a couple times here. When I go and do the research for that, I start with Wikipedia to try and see if there's information about the Picts. Now, when it comes to things like fireworks and ancient China, we have a lot of information about ancient China because they wrote a lot of stuff down, and there has been a lot of archaeology done in and around China. But there are other parts of the world that we don't have written records for, or other parts of the world in other time periods that we don't have written records for, and we don't have huge amounts of archaeology that's been done for them. Or if we do have archaeology, it's kind of, the sites are different enough that we can't necessarily talk about patterns yet because we haven't excavated enough sites of similar types to really understand what a pattern could be. And that's kind of, you backed the Kickstarter for that. Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, so Robert, I'm the lead researcher on that project. So so you'll get a whole bunch of information about the Picts from me. But yeah, with the Picts, we don't have that many we have no written resources from the Picts themselves aside from Pictish symbol stones, and also there's a Pictish alphabet, or well, it's not only Pictish, but the Picts used it for Pictish, called Ogham or Ogham if you're used to the Irish pronunciation, and that is like a vertical thing. Here, let me show you what this is. Here we go. So you can see, hopefully, okay. Hopefully you can see they've got the edge of the stone here. That's a vertical line, basically. And they would use lines, different types of lines, across that singular central line to write. That's their writing system. Okay, so each of these clusters of lines, these are letters in Pictish. Well, this one might be in Ireland, but so it might not be Pictish. But hang on, let's go back. I'll see if there's an easier example. There's kind of the there we go. Okay, this is a mug with with some of the letters. So yeah, so you get that. We get that in Pictish areas. We get it in Ireland a fair amount. We also get it in Wales to a certain degree, and sometimes in England. But it's generally the parts of England that were under Welsh control at the time. Yeah, so the Picts wrote in Ogham or Ogham, but it's generally like personal names or place names. But usually the things that they wrote down were personal names, and then the surviving elements of place names we still have in modern place names in Scotland, predominantly in the northeast for the Pictish stuff, but not always. Some of it is a bit more central in things. But yeah, so that's, hang on, where was I going? Let's go back. So we have stuff, but we also don't have stuff, is the point there. And with the Picts, they also, a lot of the time archaeology gets a lot of information off of funerary remains. So individuals who have passed away and have been buried generally with something, we get a lot of information from that. But the Picts didn't bury their dead with much of anything at all. They didn't put stuff in the graves. There are occasional graves that do have some things, but generally speaking, we don't have grave goods for the Picts. So we don't have writing and we don't have grave goods. So the Picts are a lot, and the Picts also are not as extensively studied as, say, the Song dynasty of China. So when it comes to carved in stone, I'm piecing together a lot more disparate sources when it comes to the Wikipedia dives. it's mostly that I go into the Wikipedia dive and I'm just sitting there like, please have something something that I can run with. But there are also other ways, and this will be the last thing I promise, because now we're definitely long past when stream normally ends. But this is something also just to, as a general FYI to anybody who is doing a degree, or even if you're in high school still, or secondary school, this is a really good resource to use. This is Google Scholar, if you haven't heard of it before. So instead of just going to google.com, okay, where I don't know, you can see some of my recent searches. If what am I saying? If I type in Pictish writing, okay, these are the results I get from Google. So I've got Pictish language at Wikipedia, which is helpful, but I've also got some stuff like, okay, painted people in Scotland. This is a little bit problematic. A fierce group of people who lived in Scotland during ancient and medieval times. That is playing right into Hollywood tropes of the Picts. Doesn't mean that they weren't necessarily fierce or didn't necessarily paint themselves, but we actually don't have any evidence that the Picts ever tattooed themselves. We have zero evidence that the Picts tattooed themselves. So yeah, when you see language like that, it's like, oh, this might not be a reputable source. Even though it is live science, but there's a little bit of sensationalist language happening there. But yeah, there's Royal Society publishing, language logs, so it's a lot of, and like YouTube videos. Some of these are going to be really good sources, but some of them won't necessarily. Whereas Google Scholar, if I say Pictish writing, now there is something, okay, I end up with all of the academic resources that have been written about Pictish writing. Now, you don't always, I mean, it's still a Google search, so you don't always get everything, you don't always get, what you're looking for, especially with the Picts. Something that is true for the Picts. If I say Picts writing, right? There is a thing. Oh, it's not showing it. Probably because I've put writing. Hang on. If I just go Picts. Nope, not boat archaeology. You can tell what I've been researching recently. Yeah, there's psychological inventory of criminal thinking styles, Picts. That's not what I'm looking for, and that seems strange. And then there's also stuff, there's like Pacific Island countries and territories, PICTs. So you end up with the Picts, you end up getting a lot of resources that are not actually something that you need. There's also a biomed thing. Yeah, that's the Pacific Island ones, but there's another thing that is actually like a medical term or biological term or something that's also abbreviated by PICT. So it's I have to write Pictish in order for it to work. But you can see that we get a lot of academic sources, and you can see the Archaeological Journal or Antiquity, that's a well-known archaeology journal. This Steve Driscoll is a well-known archaeologist for the Picts. So is Kay Forsyth. That's Catherine Forsyth. She's actually like the leading expert in the world on Ogham writing systems. So you can just access these. And these, as an FYI, as regular people who don't have academic, if you don't belong to a university, it's okay. Some of these things are not behind paywalls. You can just pick up some thoughts on Pictish symbols as formal writing systems by Catherine Forsyth, and you can read through it and look at all of these lovely symbols that she has. And for those of you who are subscribed, you'll notice that the sub badge is actually, it's these little Pictish symbols, right? Right now it's just a fish, but the fish is still cool. The fish is right here. So there you go. But then the other things like the bird or there's a snake, which I don't think she's included the snake in this particular figure. Oh no, there it is. There's the snake. And then we go to, there is a point where there's a cow and then a wolf and a boar. So these I've worked them into the channel as my sub badges. So you guys get to have fun with all of those. But yeah, so there you go. Just me rambling about academic sources and research and such. But a lot of these with Google Scholar, if it just says PDF, chances are you can access it without having to worry about like paying for it, which is really nice. And there is a bigger push now towards open access with a lot of these academic things, because it's a problem when academia does all this research and then doesn't do super well at telling the public what they've found. And archaeology is a bit better at it than a lot of disciplines, but we also have a long way to go before we I would say we're good at it. I don't know that we're particularly good at it. Hence why my channel exists, or at least one reason. But anyway, now that I've rambled for quite a long time, that's an answer to your question, Moon. I promise not every question will end up with such a lengthy discussion of research methods, but I figured since it was the first time we were doing it, I could also run through those. Yeah, feel free to, for other people, feel free to use that channel redemption. That's the whole point of that channel redemption. Don't feel badly about asking questions. You're also more than welcome to ask questions in the chat, which it says with the redemption, or at least it should do. It's just that if you use the redemption, you are guaranteed an answer, even if I don't know it on the spot. I will find the answer and get back to you. So yeah. Anyway, I think what we'll do then, or we'll kind of leave it there. Thank you everybody for hanging out, especially for the extra hour. See you all on Thursday. Bye!